go, an elimination final in the West. It's Fremantle and Gold Coast as we get set at Optus Stadium.
Jackson in the ruck against Blitz. Anderson side by side with Siren. The clearance specialists are all in there. Anderson gets one out of the middle straight away. Heads toward goal. It would be massive if he could nail that. He's tossed the line.
Good strike. Just down the other end, we've got a few matchup. Yulin on Boss. So I wonder if they try and isolate that particular matchup. Collins on Amos and McAndrew on Josh Tracy.
Freo to bring it back into play. If that first clearance going the way of the Suns. Voss attacking it. Sarong down low. O'Meara after it. In game number 200, Anderson getting busy early in this first minute or two. O'Meara to Sarong. And the Dockers will just kick it blindly back up the wing. Big contest. Yulin. Voss in there too. The free kick will go to the Sun.
Oh, I think he's unlucky there, Voss. I thought he had his eyes on the ball right until the end. You can see there, absolutely. That's all you can ask for in a contest like that.
Yulin lost his boot in the process, and he can pump it back inside 50 in the direction of King. Brendan Cox with a punch away, but it stayed in play initially. And then, well, Humphrey didn't really try to keep that in. The Freo fans appeal for a free kick. It'll be a boundary throw-in.
So the Suns are happy to get that stoppage, continue to put pressure on the Dockers back six. They've had the first couple of entries.
A nice big hit early. It doesn't get any bigger than knocking a bloke out of his shoes. Which is what did happen with that collision with Yulin.
Is that interesting, this one?
Push and shove.
For the Dockers, we've got Michael Frederick, who's playing in Sam Switkowski's role. So that's basically up and down the guts of the ground. He's generally played as a wider player, but he's now been asked to play as that player that goes up and down the centre corridor, that consistently is trying to get the corridor wrap going for the Dockers and stop the same for the Suns.
Wow, got it off just in time. Little bouncer from Fiorini might just squeeze past.
He was in a dangerous spot there. Fiorini, the two high half forwards from Fremantle, just gave him too much room. So for me, that is a watch, especially inside forward 50 stoppages for the Gold Coast.
The Suns with all the territory early.
I think Fremantle, especially early on in the game in their defensive 50, will look to build the ball up, not take too many risks. It's when you get to the fatter part of the ground, you look to bring the ball in.
Chapman up the line. Big pack up, and all the Suns there ready to cover it, spike it over the line.
See the Suns going really hard man on man, so Fremantle won't be able to sort of kick mark their way out of their back half. You will see them go long down the line quite often because the Gold Coast Suns are really hard man on man to take away those marks.
Witts and Jackson in the ruck. Rowell at the spill. Sarong with good hands to tap it to Bolton, who's got all that finals experience. The premierships at the Tigers. Collins down the line, the former Docker, intercepts and holds up for the Suns in defence.
Yeah, he just took control of the space. Amos gave him 1.5 metres, and that was all that was needed for Collins.
Ex-Docker, of course, 14 games for the Dockers. Collins heads to Andrew, Wider, and Rioli.
The other thing in the midfield just looks like both midfields going to head-to-head.
Just touched out by Noble. We can continue on.
Oh, was it lucky?
Yep.
Very lucky. So no tags. Wrong. Brayshaw, Anderson and Rao head-to-head.
Yeah, we're backing our clearance guys in against your clearance guys. Witts and Jackson to do the ruck work again. Witts front spot. Jackson works to the front. Witts got the clearance. Hammers it wide. Pierce, Farah, boundary line. Almost a win. He was happy to slap it. They get a ball in and they can reset, and everyone's just trying to get their heart race down at the moment.
Midfield battle going to be so crucial. The Suns have won the clearances in 19 of their 23 games this season. Best record in the AFL. As they go to work here, it'll be the Dockers through Jackson and Clark, who was looking for a free kick. Socket forward by Gold Coast. Pierce overran it. Farrick claimed it nicely. Away along to the 50. Tumbling ball needs a bounce. Rolling end on end. And it takes the break, but not quite enough for the Suns, and another behind to start.
And that will be the challenge. If you go to the Pierce-Farah contest, as soon as that ball hits the ground, that will advantage Farah. So that will be the challenge for Alex Pierce.
Chapman pulled the kick late. He was thinking Bolton initially, but he goes to Erasmus instead. Over with us earlier on, the two subs, Swallow and Fife.
You just see here no one's pressing up on the mark, so they're just trying to congest the middle part of the ground, forcing this long kick down the line.
For one of those two, Swallow or Fife, it'll be their last game of their careers, and for the other, they can continue on and maybe insert your game 250 this year. David Swallow and Nat Fife, game 248 for them in this one, as we see Damien Hardwick. He's seen this movie before. Premiership coach, three-time premiership coach for the Tigers.
How vital that experience be as he's led his team to this position. Tracy up the line, just couldn't hang on.
I'll tell you one thing, Bucks, the stoppages are open. I mean, quite often, how many times do we see two teams send in one half forward, two half forwards into the stoppage, make it really congested? It seems that both teams are happy to keep their six forwards ahead of the ball, creating a lot of space in and around that stoppage.
Wits to the front, had the run at it, just tries to handball forward to some space. Bolton was important, got it to Brayshaw, back for Bolton, trying to work through some traffic as he does so nimbly. Through back to Brayshaw, stabs the kick to Sarong. Dudley was there, flicked it back up quickly. Sarong inside 50, Voss! Freo got the break on the wing, and they get the mark inside 50.
That's the first Fremantle run and carry with Bolton under pressure and then getting it started, and that's a sleight of hand. I don't know if there was a fist there, but it was definitely sleight of hand. It's the first time in front of the ball that a Docker has been able to win the contest. The Suns have controlled that back half. They've been able to win most of those contests.
Patrick Voss been in great form. 18 goals across his last 6 games. For the first one of this elimination final, Patrick Voss, Freo's finals fellowship, starts at the side of the prancing pony.
Try and catch him. He's an excitement machine, isn't he? He gets the crowd involved, and there's a heap of them here. There was a work of Shea Bolton in and around the contest, didn't accept being tackled, had to come skinny. He knew that the inside was congested. Then it was Sarong that just got forward. So I think that kick was meant for him. But then it was Dudley that had to clean it up, had to be clean. The Gold Coast players were closing in on him. And then the leading lane just opened up. This kick here, to not hold on to it and then find Brayshaw and then not blaze away, try and find a target. Just went over Sarong's head here, look at that. And then the leading lane opened up.
You got away with one?
Fist on it. Benefit of that.
Voss seems made for this moment. Had some calm there. Sarong gets the clearance, all important clearance. Reed couldn't trap it. About to pounce back on it, lays a tackle, steals it somehow. Back to Sarong. Amazing. The ball pass. Ricochets through to Hewlin. Caught one high, nearly lost an ear.
Stand. It was just too quick for Amos. But once again, the handball from Murphy Reid. They're sharp with their hands at the moment.
Anderson is going to send it long. Up the line. Wits with the reach. Darcy in there too. Rao with strength. Jackson had him collared. Now Miller. Butterick. They'll get it around the boundary, or will they? Great pressure again. Banfield that time off the boot of Weller. Forces it out for a boundary throw, and there's a little bit going on after the fact, and just the skills of the youngster in Murphy Reid.
And this would be the challenge, I think, for Gold Coast to try and find ways to shut the crowd out of it. But those acts like that from Banfield keep them well involved.
Darcy and Wits down to Young. Weaved his way past the couple. Sarong has started brilliantly. Needed a better bounce than that. Collins read it to perfection. Gave it up to Weller. Ex-Docker got a handball. Murphy Reid. Slick again. How good is the kid? O'Meara in game 200. Inside kick. Tracy can't mark it. Landed like a cat. Danced away from a couple. Outside of the boot. Can he get the bounce? He did, but it didn't quite go. Hewlin.
Yeah, well done.
Got high. He had 2 to beat.
Terrific effort by Hewlin. Nearly one-on-one with Bolton in the square. That's a big win.
Not a place you want to be as a defender. He played it so well. Noble down the line, but Ryan across to chop it off. So now it's Fremantle's turn to play the game in their forward half.
Collins has started well too for the Suns.
Ryan short for Banfield.
They haven't kicked a goal yet, but the Suns across the board look like they've started well. They look sharp, they're moving the ball well, they're winning a lot of contests. The Dockers have just taken their chances when they've come.
Banfield towards Amos and Darcy. At the back, Powell. Dudley puts the pressure on. Boundary line beats them both. Terrific atmosphere to start.
This is where Luke Jackson can be dangerous. Inside the stoppage is a midfielder.
Darcy in the ruck with Witts as they lock up. Punches it into the corridor. It's a dangerous spike. Trying to take it was Jeffrey, and then Collins, Andrew, a little fumbly. Tracy trying to put some pressure on O'Driscoll now, and they swarm them and hold it inside 50. Just a couple of nervous moments back there in defence for the Suns.
That hit from Darcy surprised everyone. Like trying to be a midfielder running onto that one. 30 metres away.
O'Driscoll back into the lineup. Dudley back into the lineup for Fremantle. Here is the Darcy-Jackson combo to Young. This is way past a couple. Chip kick Warner to the goal square. It's a little wide and Collins.
He's been
A strange one there, that he went for a half pass, half shot to Noble. Good dance there. Weller with some poise, hoping for Ainsworth. Didn't go for it in the end. He caught his mate in. Reed, good grab, takes off. Another young gun who's having a fantastic first season. King manhandled a little. No free, yes free.
He's just trying to keep him out so Ryan could come over the top as a third man in.
69 goals for the season. He's had an amazing year.
He covered quite well here. Freo.
Just puts it up in hope. And will the Lippers go up? In the end, Reed put one paw in the air. Still dangerous. Darcy in confined spaces to Cox to Banfield. Wobbles it out. Front spot. Brayshaw can't mark. Kept it in front. Live ball. Hammered towards the boundary. And is that an overzealous tackle from Ryan? No. All fair. All fair.
He put the whistle away. But it's an important centre forward intercept for or stoppage for the Gold Coast Suns. What they don't want is Fremantle to mark the ball and then be in control.
Witts front position. Darcy with strength shoved him out of the way. Not an easy thing to do. Tracy and Andrew lock up. Spills down. Powell got it through to Weller. Suns inside 50. It was a wobbly kick, but it worked perfectly. Onto the chest of Long, and a chance for the Suns first.
Once again, the Mac-Andrew contest there with his ability to get front spot on Tracy and then to be able to draw this ground ball. The Suns' key defenders have been excellent. Hewlin, Andrews, Collins. Outside of that hit-up mark to Voss for the Dockers goal, the Suns defenders have been on top.
Ben Long had a terrific season, 43 goals, a career best notch for him. He sends it goalward. He kicks the first for the Gold Coast in their first ever final, and the Suns are on their way.
Yeah, I've been impressed with how they've come out. There's no sign of being overawed. They're in an enemy territory. Despite the fact that Freo kicked the first goal, I thought they've been sharper at ground level. They've been really clean in the contest. I think they're the ones that are taking the game on. They're the ones that are pressuring the opposition. Fremantle did have that rebound to goal that gave them a chance to get on the scoreboard. But for the most part, it's been the Suns in the early stages of this game that have been able to, I suppose, take the whip hand of the game and take it on themselves.
Love this kid. It was a bit of a grubber kick in the end, but it was the angle that caught Ryan out. I think that's how you get this Fremantle defence. A little bit of speed on the ball further afield and certainly changing the angles going inside forward 50, not allowing them to zone off and impact in the air.
Two teams that have never won an AFL flag. Young, caught, stripped, Davies wrapped in, could have been ball, probably should have been ball. Umpire said, keep rolling, boys. They have put the whistle away. Miller going against the grain. Witts tried to flick it up to him. Brayshaw read his mind, picked his pocket, went to O'Driscoll. He turned it over. Anderson knew exactly what he was doing. Plants his foot into it long. Reed's under it. Cox couldn't mark it. Knocked it down. Ryan, his problem. He slips. Chapman caught. Great tackle. Taken to the deck. Ball up.
You see there the numbers into the screen from the Suns. As soon as they go inside their forward 50, they are charging forward to apply frontal pressure.
Darcy the hit out. Get it out there. Davies to Anderson. Kick to the pocket. King knocked down. Ryan, Docker's defence scrambles and he scores the try back over the goal line. And it's allowed to go. Enough pressure in an elimination final.
Yeah, but once again, they're finding space. Those forward 50 stoppages, they are finding space on the defensive side. Fiorini found it before. Anderson found it that time.
Not being overawed at the moment. The Suns, 15th year in the competition, first final. Risen from 13th last year, new one under Damien Hardwick. Here they are in game one of the finals. of 2025. Young slams his boot into that, gets it towards that Collins-Amos battle. Knocked down beautifully by Jeffrey. Spear pass to Weller is good. Lace out.
That's the mark you need, just to settle everything down. Then you're allowed to assess what's further afield.
Weller, former Docker himself. Down the line they go. Wits in the pack. Put it to ground. Humphrey trying to use his strength is held up.
Thanks, Bailey. So this is just his stoppage here. It is outside forward 50, so they might not get the space. They got inside forward 50. The defensive side seems to be where
It's turned into
space is.
a beautiful evening for footy after a lot of wet weather in the last 24, 48 hours. As Banfield down the line. Suns have some numbers. There was a hold and a high free kick. It goes Tracy's way.
And they go quick. They've got options on.
Hendrick down the line. Tracy worked himself into trouble and just flicks a handball sideways. O'Meara there and boundary line. A wasted opportunity.
He just didn't need to play on. You can still look further afield and assess your options without stepping off the mark.
The fact he wasn't straightened up to go behind the mark was interesting in itself.
Quite a few players out there without any finals experience at all. Brilliant atmosphere. Back into play. Darcy, front spot against him, Reed. Ball down to Bolton. Spears one towards half forward attacking 50. Is that a freeze? A quick shove. Tracy claimed he should have got it, and he danced back as if he thought he was getting it, and he's not getting it.
Tell you what, there'll be players out there whose lungs are screaming already.
Conditions down here still a little bit slippery, gents. It's a lot of rain across Perth the last 24 hours or so, still pretty slippery and a bit of a breeze for the Dockers.
Darcy hammers it towards goal. He needs a kind bounce. Nearly got it. Hewlin, double-handed slap out of Collins. Pumps it in the Reed direction. Nearly hit him in the snout. It'll work. If Rowell pounces and goes. He's got King in a one-on-one with Cox. Over the top, race on. King, the paddle, the run, the poke. He's doing the job. Can he get a toe? He did, but it's offline.
He just couldn't get the ball out further enough.
Great play by both players. Ben King's athleticism, that's a little dig, isn't it?
It is volleyball.
So not quite a...
He now gave it to throw.
The volleyball set, ready for the spike.
Ball is behind.
We get the score review. Just to see if it touched the behind post on the way through.
As we're going through this, that play of King to be able to put the ball out in front of him, but then for Cox to not give the free kick away, but to hassle him enough to be able to put that pressure on, it was excellent play. You got Snicko on the behind post?
We don't normally.
on a boundary post, sorry?
No, we don't normally on the behind post, but...
Review complete. Looking at these angles, there is insufficient evidence to determine if the ball hits the behind post or not. Decision on the scoreboard.
Might have to all chip in for that next year, maybe. Snicko on the behind post at all finals venues.
What's Snicko worth these days?
I'm not sure.
It stays with the umpire's call, which was a behind to begin with. Freo was set up for that, so they take it through Clark. All Australian this season towards Tracy, off hands. Jackson did it well athletically. Bolton had it pitched. Rioli, he knows him so well, and he took it away. A quick kick forward, and it's chopped off by Banfield. And they want to go aggressively with a switch. Brayshaw middle looks through the centre, opens up for Erasmus. Got there just in time. Jeffrey gave up a free kick.
Professional free kick by Jeffrey.
Freo want to go quick. Out to Brayshaw, looks up, drives it low. It was short of Voss, Reed in the way. Davies was clean. Now Rao, handball set up. And now good tackle by O'Driscoll. And it will hold things up. Very much an arm wrestle as Ainsworth gets back to his feet in this first quarter of the elimination final.
See there, Rioli knew exactly what Bolton wanted to do.
Go after it at ground level. Rao in there, fighting. We'll get a ball up again.
Reed, Jackson. Rao couldn't quite trap it. Jackson does. Puts it wide for Bolton. O'Driscoll got a couple of good touches early. Murphy Reed, what a superstar he is. And how about that? Lace out with a ribbon on it for Amos.
And that's another stoppage clearance. They're +4 across the game now to be able to get their best scoring opportunities has come from stoppage. They've been in a structured forward line where they've been able to run and carry and break the game down and then trust their better ball users to be able to hit targets. Amos that time been able to tick lead and get Collins on the back foot to be able to come back up at him.
Massive crowd in here at Optus Stadium. They are ready to burst. It's across the face. Is it going to score? It is. Only A behind it. He has had the yips occasionally. Jai Amos.
I think the Dockers are relying heavily on stoppage. I mean, both of their scores have come from that source. They're 4 clearances up in terms of differential, but the Suns around the ground are +8 up in post-clearance ground ball. So their ability to outnumber around the ground looks better than the Dockers in general play.
Which is what Dimmer spoke about pre-game, outnumbering at the contest.
Noble with the footy. He'll just set it high and long up the wing. Some tall targets there. Pearce in the middle of three. Suns knocked it down. Young with a handball. Frederick waited for it. Was well attacked by Jeffrey and a terrific tackle to bring him down. He's rewarded. Sarong with a vice-like grip wins the free kick. Jeffrey was just tweaked in that tackle. Kick goes in. Frederick back with it. Power with the punch. Reed is tackled and will be held up inside 50.
He's up and running at the moment, so he doesn't look too bad, but it looked like it could have been nasty. Just bending back on that right knee. Great tackle by Sarong.
Have a look at the pressure factor there, over 200, and that's a goal-saving or a score-saving tackle.
Rail, get the hands clear. Angels back in, did well. Fiorini down low, coughed it up to O'Meara. Clark, Young, will get back on his left boot. Looks up, he's lethal from that position. And now to Murphy Reid. He had Botton in the pocket. Reid waited and found him.
Sorry, perhaps he just didn't see him early enough. He could have been on a better angle if he had have turned straight away, Murphy Reid, and maybe used his left foot. But found him in the end. This is the type of play that can kick him from anywhere.
Shea Bolton has been there and done it before in big games. Two-time premiership winner with the Tigers. Big name off-season recruit for Fremantle. We're looking for him to step up and try to make the difference in those big moments. He bellies that one, Voss, attacks it, ball still alive. The Suns in defence do well. Davies, Andrew, Noble, and he finds Butterick in the pocket.
He might have hurt himself in that contest, Voss too. He's up now, but it was a big collision.
He doesn't go at anything half-hearted. Mac Andrew. Had to switch to Collins, ignored that, and he mumbles it down the middle, and that could be dangerous. Frederick hands it up. Bolton, well, he knew what he wanted to do, but he had to pick up the ball first. Back to Frederick. Palms it back out. Voss looks okay now. Part of the seas went between them. Bolton, a little shrug, a little push off. The kick is horrible. Noble will get and go. They've got the spare man.
They need to find a mark because there's no one to kick to.
Down the spine. Reid was there for the Suns. Jackson the rebound. He found Brayshaw at full stretch.
Yeah, and that was the challenge going out of their back end. Defensive stability from Fremantle. It was 4v2 in favour of Fremantle. So the kick just probably had to go a little bit wider to grass.
Just a miss kick.
Still going back into numbers, and that's a turnover.
So whenever
Dangerous.
Whenever Shea Bolton has the ball in the forward 50, he's in one-track mind, isn't he? He's thinking, I'm going to kick this goal.
So Brayshaw from right on the arc. And 49 in the end, maybe got too close to the man on the mark, and he hasn't scored, or has he? They're going to have a chat about this. Touched, hit the post, ball in.
Luke. Well, they got 11 inside 50s, Fremantle for one goal. Got a few opportunities, a few really good looks at it as well.
Particularly in the last 10 minutes. They've had it inside their forward 50. Darcy down to the front. Bolton aggressive again. The tackle stray high. Fiorini is held up.
That's what he does though. He starts defensive side, and when given the opportunity, he just flashes through.
Quickly thrown up. Wits. Young trying to crash his way through. Two Suns have got him.
Hey, thanks. Sean, Joe, coming that way, guys.
Bolton had the 8 disposals. Brayshaw 8, Young 6.
Wits, as the rain begins to tumble. Darcy threw that one out. And the free kick will go to Gold Coast to just relieve a bit of that pressure.
Just need to try and find a mark between the arcs. The Gold Coast, they've just been forced to kick to a contest. And this is where Fremantle have defended really well.
Footy going to be a little bit harder to move with that rain coming down. Sarong tackled by Anderson. Rao in there. Pierce and Young have him. And a bit of treatment for Amos on the bench.
Behind you, mate, thanks.
Alex Pearce is playing really high tonight. He's been up on the ground a lot, so they're trying to isolate Luke Ryan deeper with Ben Long. That's an interesting matchup the Suns are trying to employ.
Greatest docker of all time, Matthew Pavlis downstairs for us on Fox Footy. Great to have your company, O'Meara. Feeds one wide, the ex-Sun in game 200, Jager O'Meara, 44 games for the Gold Coast, 99 for the Hawks.
The other matchup that the Dockers have settled with is Brennan Cox to play on Ben King deep, which means that Pearce is on Ethan Reid and roaming far and wide up through the midfield at times.
So some real concerns there for one of Freo's forwards in Amos, getting that treatment on the bench. As the Dockers will go through Chapman up towards Jackson in a wrestle, is held onto by Collins. We'll want to get it in quickly. Tracy's the deepest to the forwards. Jackson just tees it up, sends it in that direction. Pack flies, Bolton weighted down. So did Frederick. It pinballs around. Reid gets creative. O'Driscoll didn't have the right shoe. He went and tried to get back on the left as Amos heads down into the rooms. Concerns there for the Dockers. Boundary throwing.
You don't have an opposite foot, you won't find time to find your left foot in that situation. You need to be competent on both sides of your body.
Yeah, they dropped him a few weeks ago. They brought him back in this week. Rioli slick-handed. Trapped initially by Noble. Got it to Weller. And now Miller released the pressure. Long's going to have to really motor to get there, and he did. Can't mark it, but knocked it toward the boundary, and Farah will take either. It's a ball in.
Long speed was excellent in that contest, but Ryan did just enough to bring the ball to ground.
What's been made of Murphy Reid's season, 5 disposals, hasn't wasted a possession yet.
No, we'll find out shortly whether Matthew Pavlich picked him for the Rising Star. We'll head down to you shortly.
Can you tell us?
There's a panel. It's not just my vote.
Buck says.
Brayshaw goes wide, and Erasmus hassled across the line.
Have bullies, everyone.
You all blame each other.
2:46 remains in this opening quarter of the elimination final. Neither team really able to take advantage in this first quarter. Darcy and Whitlock up again. Sarong in there. The back heel. Spill away. Flanders on the boot. Just sends it forward. Pierce lost it. Goes back. Finds it again. Erasmus. Sarong. The Dockers build up half back. Clark, they love to have it in his hands. High ball goes inside 50. Collins, the spoil. Frederick in the spill. And they can run it all the way to goal. Oh, he's hit the post. He's missed it. Could have run all the way in. He skidded it along the ground and thudded into the woodwork. And a chance goes begging.
It's a big miss. The rain, the ball's not going to grip. You just got to drop punt that straight through. Straighten yourself up.
Outside of the right, no left as well. That's the weird part. O'Driscoll takes the mark.
Just undid all the good work, that transition work from back half.
It's finals pressure as well. O'Driscoll launches it. Who's going to fly here? Voss, front spot. Tougher ball to mark now. Murphy Reid still the one grab player that he's been all season. Slippery ball for Mosto. Flings its way toward the boundary. Banfield. And the umpire says, oh, no, well, they're having a chat here. Just having a chat between them. Insufficient intent. They have to get together, the four of them. Not sure it was 2 and 2, whether they all voted the same, but maybe it was a 3-1 majority on it.
Well, it's always the umpire that pays deliberate that just sort of gets the say, doesn't he? Not the last 10 inside 50s, Fremantle.
Up the line go the Suns. King in the pack. After it, Brennan Cox. It's a handball forward. Noble will get it away now to Jeffrey. There's a whistle and advantage. Goes the way of the Suns. The advantage wasn't really there for them, but they retained possession. Rao, Fiorini. Late chance here for Gold Coast. High ball. King rising. Takes a terrific grab. In fact, paid a chop of the arms. Had good purchase in the one there with Pierce.
Stand there for me, coach.
He did. It was good body work by both players, so they both gave themselves an opportunity.
Just had to grab over that arm there. That's a good decision. And King drew that because he ran and went to the highest point. But geez, this is an important kick. I mean, the Suns have settled really well. They've controlled a lot of play. They've been on their back foot for the last 8 or 9 inside entries for the Dockers.
69 goals for the season. He's one behind Tomlich for all-time Suns goal kickers in the club's history as he lines it up from 50 and he sprays it out to the right. So both clubs just missing some opportunities in this opening quarter of the elimination final.
And he's had it, Mr. Gent, sorry, just quickly, still downstairs, so he's getting checked with his foot. The doctor's back up, so we'll keep an eye on him at quarter time. Xiaomi is with a foot issue at the moment.
Thanks, Pav. Long launch, which goes with a fist and knocks it toward the boundary. He's had a ridiculous accuracy rate this year, Ben King. 69 goals, 19. 69-20 now after that behind, but that's what finals can do.
It's good going. The positives from the Gold Coast side, 8 inside 50s, 7 scores. They do get it in there.
Seconds tick down to quarter time. Maybe a last roll of the dice here for the Suns. Rao hunted down by Sarong. Fiorini floats and getting back to save the day is Warner, and he knows exactly how long left. Quarter time, elimination final, full house, Optus Stadium, not a spare seat here. Great to have your company on Fox Footy. Don't forget tonight, yes, tonight, first crack coming your way. Can't wait for that on.
All right, there we go, folks. Welcome back. Quarter time here, of course, at Optus Stadium where the rain was coming down a little bit. It's the Gold Coast Suns leading the way. That's right, the visitors, 1 goal, 6-12. Leading the Fremantle Dockers 1-8. Tell you what, Dockers should be thankful the Suns aren't kicking that accurate. 1 goal, 6. But a good opening quarter, even though it was low score. A good opening pressure quarter for a final. Of course, the second elimination final here. Whoever loses this one, it's good night, nurse. It's season over. It is vacation time. There we go. Hey, Stephen, how you going? Eddie G, I think he's probably got no nails left. He'll be getting nervous throughout the game. The Fremantle Dockers supporter, Pasway Nartino. How you doing? Hey, shouty, everyone. All right, let's have a little bit of a look at the ins and outs because I didn't get to these. A little bit late starting. For the Dockers, though, coming in is Nathan O'Driscoll, Isaiah Dudley back in the side. Actually, I didn't spot Isaiah. Where was he in that opening term? Interesting to keep an eye out on him. Corey Wagner, Sam Switkowski are the outs for Freo. Jager O'Meara, 200th game. Well done. Tell you what, it's good to bring a milestone game up in a big final. And, of course, for the Gold Coast Suns, David Swallow comes in. Jake Rogers goes out. There we go. That are your teams. Let's have a little bit of a look at some of the players' stats. My gosh, that didn't load up. Hey, Louise, how you going? AFL is the only popular in Melbourne and Adelaide. No, it's popular in Sydney, Queensland, Western Australia, Northern Territory, Tasmania. Tell you what, it's a popular game. It's the most popular game in Australia, throughout Australia. I know the rugby is. Shy Bolton doing something here. Shy Bolton's not too bad, but there's a little bit of look at me tonight. Just trying to do a couple of things too fancy. But at least he's out there and he's on his bike already. So I'm sure he'll do a little bit throughout this game. Yeah, Frederick should have kicked that goal. Of course, a little bit wet and slippery out on the ground. If it was a dry ground, that probably would have turned the right way and went through for a goal. But yeah, probably should have just put that on his boot for a drop punt straight through the centre. There we go. But hey, that is the pressure of AFL finals. There we go. Paddy Voss, the prancing pony. First goal scorer out on the ground today. He's the only goal scorer for the Dockers. And, of course, Ben Long is the only goal scorer there for the Gold Coast Suns. Of course, Ben Long finished the season second in the Coleman medal with 69 goals. So it'll be interesting to see how those two boys get out there today. Andy Brayshaw started off pretty good for the Dockers in the opening term. He tops the table on 11 disposals. The only one in double figures, 4 kicks, 7 handballs, a couple of marks, a tackle, 2 clearances. And of course, leading the way for the Suns is Matt Rao. It looks all right out there. 8 disposals, 1 kick, 7 handballs. Shy Bolton, there you go. There's your man. He's up to 8 disposals already. Couple clearances. He looks lively. So is Caleb Sarong's already up to 7 on the opening quarter. So that's very good. Like Luke Jackson already 7 as well. Noah Anderson there for the Suns on 7 with Johnny Noble. Dan Rioli, 6 as well. Good to see Dan Rioli. And what's his name? Shy Bolton back in the finals since leaving the Richmond Tigers. Ex-teammates playing for each opposition team here. Murphy Reid on 6. Jared Witts, there we go, the big man. Probably suits him this little bit of weather. 5 disposals, 12 hitouts and a clearance. We'll just roll down because we want to get back to the commentators. There we go. Frederick, looking for a good game from him. 3 touches, 1 and 2. He's kicked that one behind. Should have slotted that goal through. Should have just taken his time a little bit more and composed himself and he would have got there. Let's have a look at the disposal count. There we go. Plus 13 to the Dockers. Inside 50s, one to have a look at. 14 inside 50s the Dockers just for the 3 scoring shots at quarter time. So the defence of the Gold Coast Suns holding up really, really well there. The Gold Coast Suns, however, 9 inside 50s for 7 scoring shots. Tell you what, that is the difference, folks. This could be the difference in winning or losing the game. Kicking accurate. You got to kick accurate. There we go. All right. Hey, welcome in, everyone. Don't forget, tip who you think is the polls up there, who you think is going to win, the Dockers or the Suns, of course. Oh, my gosh. What's going on here? 88% already tipping Fremantle Dockers to win. Good luck. Good luck to both teams. Hey, this is going to be a ring-a-ding-ding game all the way through. I'm tipping Addy G. This could, the end result could be within 6 points. I reckon it's going to be a cracking game. Oh, let's head back down to the action for the second quarter where it's the Gold Coast Suns by 4 points.
Level caps.
Thank you, Kath. Yes, the conditions a little tricky, a bit more rain than we thought in that first quarter.
And Sam Flanders has gone down to the room for the Gold Coast, and we'll keep an eye on that as well.
Yeah. I mean, and quite honestly, when you go on the road, and we've spoken about the atmosphere here, it is important to stay within reach in the first quarter, so they'd be really happy with how they've performed, the Suns. Yes, Fremantle have left a few out there. Frederick had a really easy chance to put one on the board. Brayshaw's been good, 11 disposals, Bolton 8, Rao, Weller, Noble all with 7. So they're getting plenty of hands on the ball. I think if I was to criticise Fremantle, just maybe overused by hand and maybe kick the ball a little bit more, especially in these conditions.
At one stage there before that run and carry that led to the Frederick point, Fremantle had 44 handballs for only 4 metres gained. They've been forced to feed back, and even though Gold Coast pressure numbers aren't huge, they put themselves in positions that's forced Fremantle to go back to their free player rather than to be able to run through them forward.
And the Suns with the early lead, a 4-point advantage after a quarter of footy. Elimination final, Optus Stadium, Saturday night as we're underway, and Davies held up immediately by Brayshaw.
Davies looks like he's been flipped across. Brayshaw with 11 touches in that first quarter. Look after him for a little bit.
Jackson with the hit out down. Rao got it on the move. Able to extract it and send it tumbling to half forward. Awkward one for Chapman. Farah tried to pinch it. Jackson back involved again as they burrow in, and Humphrey is held up.
Just quickly, boys, Jai Amos, he was treated a lot throughout that first quarter and at quarter time, but he's back out there opposed to Sam Collins.
It's good news for Fremantle as Rao getting damaging with just brute strength to rip it out of the contest. Swings it inside 50, spilt past Long. The Suns in there, Humphrey, it parted for him again. Left foot snap, high ball, wafting, floating, goalward! Humphrey with a ripper. The Suns off to a hot start in the second term.
We'll have a look at that absolute brute strength from 2 players in distinctive parts of the ground. Matt Rao first, the inside to out, not accepting the tackle, being able to drive his legs and break through, and then Bailey Humphrey doing exactly the same. There's 2 players here that have got a hold of Rao. He's running away from goal to be able to find that space. And then Humphrey's here, probably had a couple of feedback opportunities, but thought, nah, I'm going to go against the grain onto my non-preferred and give it a show, and that's exactly what he was able to do.
He had to come back a fair way. He was celebrating for about 10 seconds, just waiting for the ball to go through.
Got his strength back. He had some knee issues this season, but he's back and firing at the right time for the Suns. Bailey Humphrey.
They'll get confidence from that particular play. You're right. Brute strength by both players.
On down to Rowell and Bolton. Little flick up was legal. Sarong bangs it long. Voss edged out. Edged under it a little. Will collect from Davies. McAndrew a little untidy. And here relays the tackle. The umpire says, I'll split the difference. Braden Fiorini will hand it to him.
Just a quick scan of the players that are rated higher. Davies is the highest rated player. Yulin, Collins and Rioli next. The back six of the Suns have been able to stand up and rebound.
So Noble handed it up. Dangerous area to go inside with the kick, but Anderson, right spot, right time, looks around. He wants the corridor. Maybe bit off more than he could chew there. He's got 3 to beat Miller. Knocked away from him. Rao in the hole. Good spin, turn. Found Fiorini. Heads out wide to Witts. Not your run and carry guy. Big slow bit of treacle running down the wing. High towards half forward. Davies hunted down by Clark. This is all happening.
Yeah, I don't know whether he knew that Clark was on his tail, but he just had to keep that ball moving forward with either a tap or a little surge kick. As soon as he grabbed it, then he became a really easy player to tackle.
Bolton landing a little awkwardly in that tackle. Took a while to get back to his feet. Ball with Pearce, who's fighting for it. Anderson threw a toe at it. O'Meara, Sarong, Chapman. And they keep a cool head out of defence. Ryan to a one-on-one. Andrew and Tracy just held the arm out for separation.
Yeah, it was clever. Knew where the drop of the ball was.
Up the line to the other big target in Voss. Hands to it. Ewan lost his feet. Frederick over the top. Gets another chance out into the pocket. Amos!
It was a good contest by Voss to not go to ground. Ewan was the one that went to ground. He just kept it in front, and he knew Frederick was on over the top. So a little loopy handball to keep the play going. Just there, really hard to keep your feet in a big, strong contest like that. And then once again, the leading lane just opened up, and Amos took his chance.
Had a shot earlier. Missing with the drop punt. He wants to kick it around the body. The whip action to perfection. It looked like he was maybe out of the game at one stage late on in that first quarter, getting some treatment with an injury. But a big response coming back onto the field and kicking a goal for Freo.
Excellent finish.
It looked like missing.
It's such an important goal for the Dockers to get. They did have field position for a good chunk of that first quarter towards the end, but they've been able to, their 3 most damaging bits of offense have come from half-back with a bit of run and carry, and then they find that hit-up player. So winning this contest here, even-numbered contest, over the top of Frederick with time and space, and the few opportunities they have had time and space that the Suns have been able to give it to them, then the Dockers have taken advantage of it. 2 goals from that source.
Fremantle needed it. Amos needed it. The crowd lifts the volume. They needed it as well. Jackson, Witts, ball knocked down to Anderson. Couldn't trap it. Young, little poke on to get it to half forward. Howe met it front on, lost it. It's in there to be scooped out. Brayshaw, dainty little kick. Back Andrew, got a fist on it. Gonna have to follow up. Left it behind, was half held. Scooped out to Erasmus. Launches long and nails it big time. Fremantle back in front by 2.
They've got bang there, haven't they? And it's actually their hands from the inside to outside on this occasion that was able to get it done. You know, if it's not a Sarong, it's Young. If it's not Young, it's Murphy Red. He just seems to find and know exactly where his exits are before he goes and wins the ball. That's a great finish. And just the last minute or so, the Dockers have got this air about them when they do get going, that they're going to have a good patch. So the Suns need to hold up right here, right now, as the Dockers make their run into this match.
It's when sides play well, isn't it? When you can control the inside and not get sucked in. So it's probably Fiorini on this time, get sucked in a little bit. And the Dockers hold their width and finish.
Erasmus has really cemented his spot in the Dockers lineup this season, particularly in the second half of it. He's brought the crowd right into it. The Suns wanting to respond now. Rowell having a big say in the middle. Davies, they get it out to Weller, who loves to run to the 50. He can send it goalward. Off target, wrestles on Humphrey.
It was a really strong one-on-one. He'll go again here.
He'll step around, snap it through for the goal, and the Suns hit back immediately.
Well, it's a quick response, so that's good signs. But once again, we talk about the inside-outside balance. I think it was Erasmus that got drawn into the contest, which allowed the Gold Coast Suns to continue on with that transition from the wing position and get the ball deep inside forward 50. So you see here, left of screen, just get sucked in. You've got to hold your width as a winger. Then it was Weller, takes a bounce, goes inside forward 50, and then he's able to drive that ball deep to a genuine one-on-one. As a winger, if you come in, you have to impact. You cannot allow your opponent to get to the outside.
For both teams, 14 scores across the beginning of this match, and 9 of them have come from stoppage. So there hasn't been a lot of good offense in transition that has been able to be rewarded in scores. The defensive transition has dominated for the most part, but out of stoppage seems to be where the danger lies.
Rain stopped. 3 goals in the space of less than 2 minutes of actual game time. So dry conditions, still a little slippery on the deck, but the hands are clean. And Rowell's off and running. The clearance beast heads toward King. Clean ball. Pearce under the hammer. Re-wrapped him immediately. All still in dispute. Clark out wide, and Anfield almost content to let that go out. They can all take a deep breath. See the two coaches. Damien Harwick's second season as coach. 14 seasons, 3 premierships for the Tigers.
Witts to the front position. He took it out of there, got his boot to it. O'Meara had to commit, long in there too, laying a tackle. O'Meara went back again, ball at the feet of Reed. Erasmus wraps him up. Absorbing contest. There's no tomorrow for the loser of this one. The winner to go through to play the Lions in a semi-final. Toe poke forward, not 15. Alex Pearce held up. Erasmus, Ryan, Banfield, Brayshaw on the boot. So look away, kick up the line. Dudley was there, couldn't hang on, but it spilt to Tracy. They reversed roles. Now to half forward. Amos couldn't take it going back. Collins, always solid. Will feed it away. Now Jeffrey. He can get it moving back in the opposite direction. The Suns to build and find some space. Ainsworth.
Can they make them pay? They let a few opportunities out there. Fremantle on that occasion.
There's a big lead from Reed that was ignored. He's going to go longer instead. King in a pack out the back. All the Dockers are up. Butterick out the back. Sockers the goal. And the Suns strike again.
It was a big contest. King, Witts was involved. And they just couldn't, Fremantle, the defenders, they couldn't keep that ball in the front. You've got to try and keep the ball in the front. You see there, they let it over the back, and that's when Butterick got his chance. And it was off the back of a Fremantle transition play where just a couple of really good clean possessions probably meant that they were going to kick a goal at the other end. So that is a big play against the momentum.
That entry there is probably the one that Damien Hardwick was talking about. There was a hit-up lead in Ethan Reid. He was really well and truly clear. Alex Pearce dropped off. But that kick from Ainsworth, a little bit deeper, ends up going over the top. The Suns believe that the Dockers are vulnerable for those deeper entries, and they were right on that occasion.
We talk about how big a night it is for David Swallow in the Suns since the dawn of time, but Connor Budrick, former Suns Academy captain as well, playing his first final. His little brother was at the club for a while as well. And he's living the dream. Darcy Mungles won a tumble punt. Tough to grab, but not for Voss.
How often do you see that when there's a contest that looks like it's the one in Tracy and Andrews that's going to compete for that ball. But once again, hands out of stoppage. This is another opportunity for a score from stoppage, and Voss just keeps coming in and chops his way out. Had the hands up. I don't know if the eyes were seeing that, but they stuck.
It's an amazing story. Just game 27, mature age recruit. And he's been the man in this game. so far as he has been for this season.
The scoring's really opened up now, hasn't it?
Yeah, we've spoken about it a few times, just the hands in and around congestion from Fremantle to let them continue on with the play. Same again in the middle of the ground. Just 1, 2, 3 handballs, quick, bang, then you're away. Darcy out the front of the stoppage. And then what that does, it promotes forward movement. So Voss v Ulan, I think I'd be isolating that matchup if I'm Fremantle at the moment and getting Voss into a really strong position to compete one-on-one against Ulan.
You see Shane Bolton there, gents. The physio on the left there. He came off and wanted to have a chat to the physio, so he's working really hard on that right hamstring, upright, almost near his buttock. So we'll keep an eye on that. Maybe it's just a quick check, but hopefully not a significant injury there for Shane Bolton.
Thanks, Pat. Back in the middle we go. A goal out of the clearance, last time out of the centre for Fremantle. Sarong worked hard to get there to O'Driscoll, to Young, that raking left foot kick up to the 50. Collins, big double spike away. Dudley lays a tackle on Jeffrey, held it a while, and it's going to be a ball up.
Sam Collins, whether matched up with his direct opponent or loose as a +1 when the Suns have the ball in their front half, has been excellent so far tonight.
Look at it, kick in there from Miller to Witts to Flanders and out to Reid, who had control of it, copped a little nudge from Ryan, who infringed and gave away the free.
Yeah, Collins is number 4 in the AFL this year for intercept marks, but has the knack of knowing when to lend a hand for others, with the punch and not go for the mark. And he's having another good night at the office here. King can't get the run at it. Rasmus had a chance at it, but kind of misread it or ran under it, one of the two. Tossed to Cox. Chapman. Cox going backwards rather than forwards. On the back pedal that kick. Reid can't mark it. The two Reids out there. Reid plucked it from Reid, and the umpire says, I'll have it to sort it out.
Reluctant to switch the ball on that occasion, Fremantle. Probably had a chance. Decided to come back skinny towards congestion.
Witts the hit out. Erasmus, though, swallowed in a big tackle by Humphrey, who lets him know about it.
Back it out, guys. Sean, Jared.
Terrific contest so far. Sarong burrows in and under and earns himself a free.
Time back on, stand.
See how aggressive they'll be here with this particular kick.
More clearances in a season, Caleb Sarong, than any other docker in the club's history. Continues to rack them up. Won the free kick there. High ball though, made it tough for Tracy. Andrew with a long reach, having to knock it down. Murphy Reid got them going quickly. In towards Young, just fumbling at his knees, couldn't find it. And the help arrives for the Suns. Powell, good tackle away by Erasmus. It stays in play. Weller, he sends it up the line. Humphrey involved. Banfield there. Clark committed. Bodies flying in. Clark goes again. Brayshaw dispossessed. Suns now with some numbers. Anderson tackled. It's a tough footy to win. He threw it away. Holding the ball. Great contest. Finals footy.
That is fantastic by both teams.
You mentioned number 1 for clearances. Sarong is number 2 in the AFL this year for clearances. 11 behind Matty Rowell, who's number 1 coming into this game. So we've got 1 and 2 out there in the competition. Head-to-head, Sarong not being tagged, has been tagged a few times effectively this year. Great contest. Long kick. It's a 4-pack. Mac Andrew got a hand on it. Ball hits the deck. Young tried to go off the carpet, and he did with an inside kick. Rioli gets 50. So Dudley got a bit too close, didn't come back, and now Rioli can launch one here.
I think Rioli gave him time. Played on straight away.
It did look like that, didn't it?
Yeah.
Trigger finger there from the umpire.
Gee, they've done well to hold them up though, Fremantle.
Yeah.
Hold them up and then force a kick sideways. It's a good defensive effort.
Mac Andrew. He's got Jeffrey out wide. Father played 90 games but never played in a final. Joel's playing in one tonight. Off hands. A little too wide, you'd think, for Fiorini. He was taken out.
Just keeping an eye on Luke Jackson down here on the bench. He's also getting some treatment on the hand, so getting it re-strapped. So Freo just with a couple of concerns for both key playmakers, Bolton up and ready to go. Jackson getting his hand strapped.
Physios for Freo having a lot of work to do through this first half. As Witts, dominant hit out there. Anderson just couldn't take it with him, but found it again. Ground level from 50. Put it on the boot. High one. Back to the square. King trying to recover, but Brennan Cox sees it across to the safety of a rush behind.
Yeah, I think Anderson and Round maybe just after that kick maybe could have lowered his eyes and not blazed away from a really tough position. I mean, it would have been an awesome goal if it had gone through, but low percentage.
Beautiful sight, this magnificent stadium. Full for tonight. And how about the read from Reed? Handball was too slick. Bolton mopped it up. Erasmus around his body. Couldn't get to Murphy Reed. Jeffrey. Miller. Just delayed it a sec. Went to Ethan Reed. Bumbles it to half forward. Tied off the deck, and that doesn't work. It does work to hold. Play on advantage though. Long launch. Murphy Reed holds his ground. Bang! Free kick.
Gee, I'd like another look at that. I thought he may have got his hand on it, but maybe he didn't. But
it depends where his eyes are. They're nearly accepted as front-on contact now, regardless of where the player's eyes are. It's coming in to defend. That's the second one. Obviously, Voss gave away that free kick to Yuland earlier for that front-end contact.
It was a good comment. Murphy Reed did well to stand under the ball.
I think you've probably got to get your fist to the ball for that to be accepted.
So not all body and arm has to be a little bit of Sharon.
I agree.
It's a fair call. Murphy Reed now. Game 24. Had an amazing year. For the lead back. And shows how classy he is. Shaken but not stirred.
There's not a lot of quiet in Murphy Reed, is there? He's a little loud. But geez, he backs it up, and he's been excellent throughout his first year, his first season exposure at the game. He just looks like a footballer. He knows exactly where to be at the right time. Clean hands, great use, leaving his eyes on the ball to put his body on the line, knowing that contact is going to come there, and then the wherewithal to be able to go back and finish.
Hasn't wasted possession, so he's up to 10 possessions, 3 kicks, 7 handballs, 100%. Harvey, I don't thought it was a free kick, but terrific finish.
One thing that jumps off the stat sheet is the tackles. Suns have only had 17 tackles. Fremantle had more of the balls, 15 more touches, but Suns have only had 17 tackles, Fremantle 32.
The Dockers have hit the lead, the crowd getting right into it. Ethan Reed able to get it out to Davies. And then the Suns go inside 50, test of strength. Long and Ryan down there wrestling. O'Driscoll lost it. Miller buzzing around trying to win the footy. Knocks it boundary side. Chapman gets there first. Fiorini with a brilliant tackle. Pin the one arm. Given the benefit of the doubt.
And that's not to say that the Suns aren't physical and tackling well. A lot of Fremantle's possessions have been running away from them and going back away from where the Suns players have been.
Jackson. Boundary line was looming, but it stayed in. Ethan Reed tumbles a kick forward. And it bounces out of play. The crowd will appeal for insufficient intent. A smile from Luke Ryan and a boundary throw-in.
I don't tend to pay those in the 450, perhaps. Same kick, the same result between the arcs is paid.
Ball in. Ethan Reed, Jackson Reed, the two unicorns head to head. Oh, says I'll have it.
Suns of Freo holding 6 forward to this contest, but the Suns have got the extra back off the fat side wing so that Sam Collins is sitting on his own about 80 metres from the ball.
Driscoll backed into that tackle. They've been fortunate the last couple of tackles, the Dockers.
Once again, they've got a bit of space in the defensive side, Gold Coast.
Jackson caught and he dropped that. Umpire has put the whistle away for a few seconds here. Anderson now dragged down. Going nowhere.
It was probably Fiorini. It was Miller. Davies.
Jackson with a full palm on that. And kicking in danger. Docker ball.
That's a let off, isn't it? They're just building. They're the Suns. Stoppage after stoppage. Just hoping a Fremantle defender had a lapse in concentration. A free kick relieves all that pressure.
And a 50-metre penalty. Not standing on the mark I think, from Miller means Warner will be advanced. And he wants to take it quickly. The Suns trying to get back on the mark. The Bolton knows it. A free kick down the ground.
It's a reversal
against Voss.
Yeah, a block off the ball is what the umpire is saying.
And now the Suns want to take it. Three off players were streaming forward, and the Gold Coast can take it the other way with numbers of plenty inside 50. Long back there, Clark, a big spoil, got back to help, made up plenty of ground, injured himself in the process, but saved a goal.
It was huge by Clark. Huge. Long had a really good position. We just see here the one off the ball. It's not a free kick. We saw this.
Yeah, didn't they?
The other night.
Did they watch last night's game? Do you think these umpires? Surely they would have got a little bit of a chat about what was and wasn't a free last night. Now, there's a bit of concern here for Clark. All-Australian season. He's been a big part of their show. Fremantle.
Is it a concussion concern? Is it the wind being knocked out of him with how hard he landed?
He definitely landed really high up between his shoulder blades. That was going to take the wind out of him, but he's going out there.
Right. And the crowd rise for him as well. There it is again. A little free. You can make your own mind up at home as to whether that's a free or not if you're playing at home.
I'll tell you what we're going to find is we're going to have a lot of players that are just going to flop behind the ball now.
Sarong inside, delightful. Erasmus playing some sort of game. Young turned, went, heads long. Amos put it to grass. Collins wearing him like a glove. Miller, Jeffrey. Rowell had to go back and get it. Caught. Tracy. Did he have pride? You bet he did. And now Frederick played on, and now he's cooked. Even fast Freddie couldn't get away.
Frenetic nature of a final. Players taking things on when perhaps they wouldn't previously.
I'll tell you what, both teams missing opportunities as well. Like that Miller one, he could have used Davies going inside forward 50, nearly a certain goal.
Andrew up the line, Witts with a big mark.
And Fremantle there, once again, using the numbers in and around the contest and not necessarily going long every time.
Now Noble with that extra drive. Good delivery for Long. Suns building. Long's going to send it into the pocket. Plenty of tall timber down there. Reed in the pack. Spills away. O'Meara had it, lost it, found it again. Banfield under the pump. Ryan's going to dump it out of defence. Suns have numbers. Didn't really clear the area. Chapman off hands. Hot footy to win. Davies got in there. O'Driscoll as well. He's wrapped up. Trying to spin out of a tackle. Holding the ball. Not a lot of pride, but he did try to spin out of it. And now the free kick goes to the Suns and a shot at goal.
It feels similar to that. It's like a coffee cart. We've had 4 that have been fully paid, and then the 5th one's free.
Gee, that was a hot call.
Well, the tackling's just gone through the roof, hasn't it? There's been ping-pong pressure. The Suns get the tackle, and then they look like they're out. Then the Dockers lay that tackle, and they look like they're out.
Alex Davies, who's come into the side since round 20, becomes such a vital part of this Gold Coast lineup, and he steps up to the task and drills a big goal for the Suns.
What about players that come in and played really important roles in finals, campaigns coming in the last couple of weeks? I mean, Davies has been excellent. So he's got the job on Hayden Young as well when he's on the field and done relatively well. Young's had the 11 touches, and when Young's not there, he's going to Brayshaw. So very strong-bodied midfielder who gets involved and can mix it with anyone as that big-bodied mid in a tackle pressure sense. He's had 7 contested possession from his 8 touches, so it's a fair effort.
Only a 7th game this year, Alex Davies. Came back into the team late in the season, had a 30-possession game against the Lions. First game back after that long absence, and he also been with the Suns a long time, a Suns Academy player, Japanese, dad Tasmanian, become a big part of their late season form from the restart. Darcy almost grabbed by Witts. Free kick. Now will Sarong be allowed to play on? He might go all the way home here. Size them up. Long with a drop punt, almost a pass. Jackson, not quite. Then he lays a hard tackle almost in disgust
at the fact that he dropped it.
Keep going on around the footy as they get themselves set again. Close to goal for the Dockers. Darcy knocked it down. Frederick got his boot to it. Young spills through. Claimed by 2. Another stoppage.
Got to stay alert. Stay alert if you're the Suns. Can't have too many spares defensive side.
Darcy just blocked Witts out of the ruck contest, so coughs up the free.
It's a let off again. Had to come back to the ball.
It's too intent on pushing his opposite ruck out of the way. And it does relieve that pressure for the Suns, who can try to advance it up the field. The footy with Jeffrey. 6-point lead. Gold Coast in their first ever final. Away from home. Down the line. King had the spoil. Miller absorbed the contact. Sarong had him. Clean hands Davies. Gets them moving. King weaving through some traffic. Suns to the 50. High ball. Alex Pearce. Ethan Reid there too. Farrer important. Will get it back. What's the finish like over the top? Fiorini! Another soccer goal for the Suns.
Well, it was great vision. It really was by Jeffrey. So King may have used an extra handball, but he decided to kick it to a one-on-one inside the forward 50. You just see here the sharp hands in and around contest. You see there, Rao just flashed past. So then it had to be a contest with Reid and Pearce. You bring that ball to ground. He could have went on his left foot, but he heard the voice of Fiorini and made it an easy walking goal in the end. Great vision. Great handball to get it in front of Fiorini.
Good contest here from Ethan Reid. It looked like he's out of position, bodied out by Warner, but it was just able to do enough there to bring the ball to ground. Big fellas aren't going to get a lot of the ball as key forwards at times, especially when you're competing outnumbered, but having the contest is as good as a win.
So 5 minutes to half-time, and this is the biggest margin for either team at the game so far. Anderson turned into a jam. Sarong wrapped him, and he is gone. Had the prior. Sarong doing it with attack and defence, winning clearances, laying brilliant tackles, and he spears that to Tracy, who puts it down. Mac Andrew dodged the bullet there. Anderson from Rao. The dynamic duo combine again to get it to the wing. Warner flicks it back. 2 Suns thought they were out, almost left it for each other. Brayshaw inside. O'Meara caught, stripped, could have been ball. Umpire says play on. Rioli. Umpire's come in and sorted this out with the ball up.
His body's flying in from all angles now. When you've got the ball in your hands, you know that there's going to be pressure. You don't know exactly where it's coming from, though.
Huge tackle from Witts on O'Meara there. Otherwise, Fremantle were away. In from Bolton. Young camped at full forward, but Yulin wins that first battle. Big run in here to half-time. Under 4 minutes to go. Suns have just got a little advantage. Up by a couple of goals.
Won't be taking too many risks either, the Gold Coast.
Noble down the line. King there. Witts standing tall. Humphrey. Farrer delayed the handball. They all peeled away from him, and King got moving again. And he'll take it and go. Played on. Sold himself into trouble. Agile enough to get back to his feet. Kick goes in long. Ethan Reid on the stretch. Oh, just spilled out at the last second.
Just popped out. Good recovery by King. He was going to take off. Cox was on his hammer. Nearly a mark inside forward 50. But once again, they're dangerous. They're coming here, the Suns, loading up the defensive end. Humphrey will get on the fly.
Kicked the last 2 goals of the game, the Suns. Their belief is growing, and Humphrey part of the seas, and that is huge. He's got 3, and they lead by 3.
Yeah, well, you could see he was setting up the stoppage on the defensive side. He looked a little bit unsure of where he should set up. He obviously got the message to go through. I think it was Fiorini. Get on the move, go through. No one's on you. Become dangerous. What a finish. That's when you're not organised around stoppages. Fremantle, communications down, and you let a player have that much space. It's been a really strong 5 to 10 minutes from the Suns.
Three goals in a quarter for Bailey Humphrey, and David Swallow is enjoying what he's seeing. He wants the journey to continue. The sub tonight, he'll await his opportunity, but his team are playing well. And out of the middle, Bolton trying to get going. Worried out of it. Rao takes it and runs away. Drives with the legs, sends it inside 50. Big pack up, spiked away by Brendan Cox. Farah in there, Weller turns, chips it back up. King trying to recover, but Warner stands in the row.
They want more blood.
Yeah. That was a big grab by Warner there, but yeah,
huge.
Their belief is growing by the minute here, the Suns. Might be the first final for the club. They're playing against a few Dockers who haven't played in a final before today either. Clark goes wide, back to Warner. Some steady, old school Fremantle footy here. Maybe be a bit more cautious. He just pumps it down the line in hope. Witts is there, Darcy's there. Amos with the big fly, put it down. Jeffrey, as Anderson was stripped. Grab on a ball, umpire didn't bite. Warner got there again and he just spikes it out. Safety first, they can reset. Let these minutes elapse. They'd love to score one with 2:09 left on the clock, but don't want to concede another one now. Suns have kicked the last three.
Justin Longmuir with plenty to ponder. Witts has been huge. Knocks it down. Anderson crunched in a tackle. Witts wrenched it out of there again. Weller involved. Anderson. Fiorini back for Anderson. They can go inside 50 again. Marking contest. Ethan Reid to the front. Spike down. Suns at the spill. Farah after it. Ryan played it coolly. Quick kick out of defence. So Darcy spills it into the waiting arms of Anderson. The 1-2 punch from the Suns. Rao looking to finish, but misses.
They've just got to hang on for a minute 36 here, Fremantle, and not allow another score. So get all your numbers to the right-hand side of screen and just create a stoppage or hold the ball up.
So Clark to Ryan. See if he elects, and he does select.
Yeah,
cautious.
They just can't give Gold Coast another opportunity in the last minute 24.
There's still a lot of time left, really, to be chip marking. Warner. He takes as much time as he can. Cautious Carl. Down the line to Tracy. Good grab. And now it's alive for a score.
Yeah, this is where you can put speed on it.
Dumps it. Collins knew exactly where he was going, and Hewlin read it to perfection too. They were both there, nearly collided at the point of the Sharon. But they knew exactly what was happening and made sure it didn't happen. More seconds tick down. Heads wide, fly from Reid, knocked it down to the front rail, another clearance, and the tap back. Humphrey launches it, it's a 2-on-2, inside 50, King spills it, Buttering it under pounce, open goal, 4 in a row, 4 goals in a row to the Suns.
Well, we said Fremantle couldn't give them another opportunity. They built the ball up. They went quick inside forward 50. It was Hewlin that played in front. And then they decided to come back down the skinny side contest. Didn't accept the tackle, Matt Rao. And then it was just some important contest forward of the ball. This contest by King to not only win over Cox, O'Meara had to challenge as well. He beat a 2v1, and Butterick was a man left standing. It has been a powerful 10 minutes by the Suns.
It was only a goal apiece in quarter time. The Suns led it by 4 points. 7 goals in the term to Gold Coast. It's been a powerful performance. And Damien Hardwick enjoyed seeing that one go through with only seconds remaining. Just under 30 in this quarter. Fremantle in the middle. Young tackle by Rowell and a baller. Still time for another for the Suns, such as the way they're taking the game on. Rowell's handball missed a target. Frederick fumble. Anderson over it. Flanders trying to go. Humphreys had a huge turn with 3 goals. Flanders goes in again. Brayshaw knocked it down. O'Driscoll into the path of Dudley. Seconds tick down. Didn't quite sit for him. Over the top to Brayshaw. Now get a mark to Tracy as the siren sounds. He's a long way from home, but a chance to try and roost one.
Well, he's probably the player that's got it in him. He has got a thump of a leg. And they desperately need it, to be honest, to take that positive energy into half-time on the back of what has been a really dominant quarter by the Gold Coast Suns.
Has he got a torp in him?
Looks like he might be setting up. Yeah, he's setting up for one.
Going to go to the barrel, Josh Tracy. From long range, he tumbles at gold, it spirals its way. He's going back on target, but falls in short. They were hoping for something late there, the Dockers, but really, the Suns are the story of this game. A powerful performance in that second quarter, and in their first ever final in the club's history, the back of 3 goals in that quarter to Bailey Humphrey, they lead it by 25 points. Of course, there's plenty more finals action coming up on Fox Footy next Friday night. Well, coming up this Friday, it is Adelaide and Hawthorn, 7:40pm Eastern on Fox Footy. What a matchup that one's going to be at the Adelaide Oval.
Come on, that's right, come on. The Gold Coast Suns 8-9-57, the Dockers 5-2, 32. 25 point is the margin here at half-time. The Suns looking, well, let's just say the Suns looking the team that have come out to win this game and play. Dockers are just chasing their tails a little bit at the moment. But I tell you what, Paul, how you doing? What's going on? Of course, Ellie's there. There we go, Magpie. Freo looking good. I tell you what, they haven't really had much of a run at the moment. I'll tell you who's a big difference in this game. That's Matt Rowell. He is absolutely spanking Freo. Matt Rowell, he's killing them. Tell you what, he's the playmaker, the ball maker for the Suns. Tell you what, he's in all the action. Freo, I tell you what, they want to tag him. They want to put a hard tag on Matt Rowell if they want to get back into this game. That's my observations, folks. I don't know if you're observing the same thing as me, but that's what I'm looking at. The Gold Coast Suns, I tell you what, they're running good. Yeah, there we go. The Prancing Pony not doing a great deal this evening. Not doing much chest pumping and all that type of stuff. As you were saying earlier, who am I hoping win this game? It doesn't really matter. For me, it doesn't matter. I just wanted this was one of the most interesting games of the first week of the finals. Freo, the Gold Coast Suns, of course, the Dockers haven't played finals since 2022, I think. And of course, this is the first finals appearance in the history of the Gold Coast Suns. So it is absolutely magnificent. You're observing the scoreboard. Yeah, 25 points of difference. Of course, the Gold Coast Suns kicking a bit straighter in that second term. They put on 7 goals, 3. The Dockers, though, they put on 4 goals, 4 straight goals. So not too bad an effort there. There we go. It was just, look, some of those late goals, they get a little bit of run on, get a bit of momentum. Show us the ladder. What ladder? There is no ladder. You'll have to wait till next year. I can put the ladder up again. Suns first finals for Suns, so I want them to win. There we go. You want them to win? So it'll be a ring-a-ding-ding final for the Suns if they get up to win. Of course, Addy G's there. I tell you what, he's probably got no nails left. He's nervous. Nervous Freo supporters. I can just see him sitting in his Freo jumper and his scarf and got the balloons going and screaming at the TV. But I tell you what, there's still a half a footy to play. Can't write off the Dockers. We know the Dockers certainly can come home strong in the final half. So I think this game's going to tighten right up again. I think it's going to tighten right up, and I think it's going to be a close finish. We deserve a close finish as fans and as supporters of these clubs. Let's just hope this game doesn't open right up and, shut the fridge door too early. We want this to be close, tighten right back up. We want it to be within a goal. That's where we want it to be, back within a goal. When the final siren happens. That'd be just fantastic. Even if we get extra time, that would be even more fantastic. All right, we'll have a look at the team stats in a minute, folks. Freo have done good. Look, Freo have been in red-hot form. And they've proven they can come back. So, 25-point margin, that's not a great margin. It's only half-time. Let's head back down to the commentators. They'll give us a little bit of analysis on their thoughts in the opening half.
rate of the first half?
Yeah, Suns were really sharp from the get-go, and they look like they're on their toes, outnumbering it in general play. And, there was a lot of stoppage scores early before the Suns took advantage of that outnumber the ground ball and then started scoring in transition, especially with those deep entries that Damien Harvey was speaking of.
I think the change from quarter one to quarter two was the outnumber at contest, but I think they've been better balanced, which has meant that they've been able to chain through congestion, get the ball going forward and getting those deeper entries and really putting the Fremantle defenders under pressure. I thought their contest forward of the ball of the Suns that quarter was outstanding.
Let's take a look at the Samsung halftime highlights powered by Gemini. You flagged this man pre-game, Bucks, and he's delivered. Bailey Humphrey.
Yeah, hasn't he lit this game up? And this is the first one where he sort of a couple of missed tackles there from the Dockers players. Firstly from Matt Rao to get the ball inside 50, and then to Bailey Humphrey himself. Doesn't need a lot of touches to do a lot of damage. 6 touches in that half and kicked 3 goals. So to take his chances to be able to put himself into damaging positions and then win those contests and finish has been first class.
And it hasn't been surprising when you look at the leading disposal getters so far at half-time. Rao, Anderson, Brayshaw and Sarong, if you were going to put money on it pre-game, they're probably the 4 players you would have gone. And Rao and Anderson, they're playing some sort of game tonight.
It's felt like it hasn't been a high transition game. It's been more contest and clearance. So those types of players have been involved. And, I mean, they're high numbers. They're high clearance numbers. They're high possession numbers. And I think, once again, in that second turn, they were able to translate that into scores from stoppage. 65% of the time they go inside forward 50, the Gold Coast Suns, they're scoring. That's their best result for the last 10 years. That is a big tick for the midfielders transitioning and certainly the forwards setting up.
And vice versa, down the other end, the Freo are scoring at less than 25% of their insides. They've gone in 29 times, only had 7 scoring shots for 5-2. So the Hewland, Collins, Andrews getting the job done and winning contests. We saw Hewland lead his direct opponent to the ball and take that intercept mark late. The Suns have been able to dominate pretty much across the field.
What would they be talking about right now? Bucks in the Fremantle change rooms. Obviously, they've got Nat 5 there looking on as sub.
I think pressure's probably been a big thing. I think from Fremantle, we've spoken about the Gold Coast Suns being able to transition out of congestion, but pressure's been big. I thought a positive from Fremantle has been Murphy Reid. I think his hands in time have been good. His disposal centre 40 hasn't wasted a possession, so he certainly hasn't looked overawed by the occasion. So he just needs some teammates to come with him to sort of follow in his footsteps and make really good decisions, try and attribute to this Fremantle side getting back into the game. But I thought he's been really calm and composed once he's had the ball. That one he had to stand under it. He knew Hewland was coming, so he had to stand under it for 3 to 4 seconds. He did that and finished an important goal.
I think the only time that Freo look likely is when they've moved the ball really quickly into their forward 50. Now, that's not going to be possible every time. So for me, Voss, Tracy Amos, they need to stand up and start competing and winning.
A bit higher.
Win contested ball against their direct opponents. They've been, for the most part, they've been dominated when there's been a one-on-one contest. You're not going to get that 1v none in open space, time to hit up all the time. They need to really dig deep and get going at the beginning of this third quarter.
Now, you've brought some umpire controversy with you guys. You were at the MCG last night, and we've seen it again here. I heard you say in the call, Bucks, that we're going to see a lot more players flopping behind the ball because they're being rewarded.
Well, it's a game of strength, and I don't think Patrick Voss was doing any more than trying to push his player off to potentially create some space. Now, that is what we don't see that often. Like, if you're at the ground, you see it. If you're watching it TV, there's a lot of work that's being done off ball to prepare to go and win that ball, whether it's a defender owning position or whether it's a forward trying to create space. So that is something that happens 150 times a game. On that particular occasion, Patrick Voss won that contest by too much and then was awarded a free kick again. So I think that needs to be let go.
Now, when it comes to Super, we all know that there's only one symbol to look for. So for industry super funds, we're going to head down to the boundary. Matthew Pavlich, what are you looking for in this second half?
I'm looking for the two midfield groups to keep going at it and maybe apply a bit more defensive pressure, because for much of that first half, both teams were scoring and scoring heavily from stoppage, and it happened a lot in that second term, early at least, until the Suns got on top in the last 10 minutes or so. But both teams scored freely from stoppage, and it was really starting in around the centre square bounce. So a couple of occasions here where Erasmus is holding his wing out there on the wing, and Fremantle, the ball's bobbling around, but they do a nice job of finally getting their hands on it. Talked about Murphy Reid and his importance. Well, he's so good at finding the right teammates in the right spot. This handball comes out to Erasmus, and it's a nice finish. So Fremantle, at their best, as Bucks just talked about, look good when they move it quickly, at it from stoppage. But here's another example of getting the ball out the back and just being crafty and smart. So a lot of it has come from stoppage. We talked about it the last 10 minutes. So, gee, they got on top in their forward half, the Suns. They were outstanding at the way they created those types of opportunities. Normally, it's Fremantle's strengths, but at the moment, they've already given up almost 60 points. So a lot of work to do for the men in purple at half-time.
Yeah, and obviously the scores came from stoppage early, especially for Freo. But the thing that happened late in that second quarter was the Suns ramped up their pressure. They went from mid-160s to nearly 200. So that's where they really did ramp it up, and they were able to put pressure on and create some turnover opportunities. And the deep entries that Damien Hardwick spoke us about happened. And a lot of those scores late came from those deep entries. So a bit of thinking to do for the Dockers. They've got to come out with some real intent to attack, but they've also got to be competing in front of the ball a little bit better.
They completely took the crowd out of it too, didn't they, the Suns, in that 10 to 15 minute period. Well, thanks to Matronics. Let's head into the newsroom now, because it has been Elimination Saturday. David Zeta joins us. Zeets, bring us up to speed with what happened at Indy Stadium. Jordan Lewis was going off his chops, seeing his Hawks celebrate a finals win.
We all were watching it on too. Just how crazy this match was. So the Giants trailed by 42 points 18 minutes into the third quarter, and then there was one of the more remarkable passages of play you will see in your lifetime. So they cut that lead to just a goal by three-quarter time, the Giants. They hit the lead early in the last, and then Mabior Chol kicking the match winner and just icing the game for them. The Hawks steadying when it looked like they may have given up one of the all-time leads in an elimination final. So a massive win for them. The Hawks elated. The Giants, understandably, very desolate with that loss. So a 1-point prelim loss in Adam Kingsley's first year. Then 2 losses by a kick in finals last year. Now a 19-point loss. They keep getting to the finals, but they keep falling just short. Now, Adam Kingsley and Sam Mitchell both spoke after the game. Understandably, different environments they spoke in. Adam Kingsley first and Sam Mitchell. This is what they had to say.
Well, the message is keep putting yourself in that position. Keep putting you in a position where you can fail on the big stage and be incredibly disappointed, but if you're not there, you'll never feel it. And so we've got to just work our backsides off over the summer again to get back into finals and put ourselves in a position where, who knows, we may lose next year and be disappointed again. But that's where we need to get to. So keep giving ourselves a chance.
To have a big lead and then to give it up and then to get back in front and to show the resilience that we did, that was a great win. I'm really proud of all the lads and how they went about it. If there was a lot of doubt for different moments and we couldn't get the game on our terms, but I think it took every player today.
Now, even worse for the Giants. Darcy Jones, a suspected ACL for him. So Jared Healy has called it the all-there-nothing pain about ACLs and synonymous with that mechanism. That's what it looks like here. So he did his ACL in a VFL game for the Giants back in 2023. He's had a rough run with injuries. He was one of the Giants' best players before this incident occurred. Adam Kingsley admits it did take a bit of the wind out of their sails. So a big loss for them heading into next season. Also a big loss heading into next week for the Brisbane Lions. Now, Lachie Neale will miss the remainder of the season, regardless of how far the Lions go. He suffered a calf tear. That was confirmed in scans today. He'll be missing 4 to 6 weeks. That puts his season out of reach for him. And Eric Hipwood has a calf strain, and scans show he partially tore his already repaired ACL when trying to get a scan on that calf strain. So a significant setback for him heading into next season. So plenty of news going around the traps in footy. So much still to play out though, Kath.
Thank you, Zeets. Can they still win it, Brisbane Lions, without Lachie Neale?
I think they can, but they've got a bit of work to do. They'll lick their wounds after last night and go again, but They look like they're going to face a motivated side out of here if the Suns keep going.
No Lockie Neal. Berry looks sore. McCluggage looks like he's got a sore knee. So they'll be up against it, no doubt. But they're a proud group. They're a premiership team winning group.
Well, as things stand right now, we're on track for a Q Clash semi-final next Saturday because it is the Gold Coast Suns leading Fremantle by 25 points. What are we going to see from the Dockers in this second half? We are glued to finals footy on Fox this September, but elsewhere, a brand new series, The Paper, is must-watch on Binge.
All right, there we go. While they're on a break, we're going to go and have a look at our favourite time here, folks. We're going to have a look at the stats and the goal scorers because we love that so much. Let's head on over to the goal scorers. Paul will be back later. Good on you, Paul. Toot the karma bus. Hey, let's not get carried away too early. Still got half a footy to play. Still got half a foot. You just never know. Karma might come back to bite you. Freo might get up and win. You just never know. My gosh. As I was saying, with the injuries to Brisbane, I think whoever wins this game this evening, I think they'll go on and have a pretty comfortable win over Brisbane. And then they will. Then the winner of that game will probably go and play the Magpies and unfortunately get beaten, but that'll end their run. Is there a live ladder? I don't think there is. I don't think there is. I think if there was a live ladder, I think it would go Geelong, Collingwood. I don't know. Geelong, Collingwood, Gold Coast, and Hawthorn. There's the live ladder. I think that's the way they finish in their positions and the teams have won so far. Bailey Humphrey for the Gold Coast Suns. Tell you what, he's kicking it like a ring-a-ding-ding. 3 straight goals he's kicked, leading the goal scoring out on the ground this evening for the Gold Coast Suns. They're hot. Connor Buderick, he's got 2. Ben Long, Fiorini, and Alex Davies has got singles for the Suns. For the Fremantle Dockers, the Prancing Pony, he's got a couple. Murphy Reid bobs up with one with Neil Aramis and Jaya Miss. They're your goal scorers. Freo trouble on the live ladder. I tell you what, doesn't matter where they're sitting on the live ladder at the moment, as long as you keep winning. That's a whole story. As long as you keep, that's all you've had to do since round 20 is keep winning every game and you'll win the flag. There we go. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. Disposal magnets. Matt Rowell, as I said, he is absolutely tearing them apart out there. In the middle of the ground tonight, Matty Rowell, 18 disposals, 6 kicks, 12 handballs, 2 tackles, 4 clearances. He's kicked it behind. Noah Anderson again on song with 18 touches, 5 clearances. Caleb Sarong and Andy Brayshaw, good to see there. 2 lads, top of the table for Freo, 16 apiece, 6 clearances for Sarong. Good to see them in the action. Good to see them in the action. Luke Ryan, 14. Jared Witts, the big man, can you believe it? 3rd most disposals for the Gold Coast Suns. The big ruckman on 13, 23 hitouts, 5 clearances. Johnny Noble on 11. Shai Bolton, I tell you what, he just needs to do a little bit, yeah, there we go. He just needs to probably do a little bit less and then he will actually do a little bit more. He's on 11, 6 and 5, 4 clearances for the Bolts. He needs some goals, that's exactly right. He needs to put some score on the board, yet to trouble the scoreboard guy ticking over the scoreboard. There you go. Murphy Reid, though, he's got one. He looked pretty good. He's a pretty good player, Murphy Reid. I think he was one of the shining lights that helped get Freo across the line last time, a fortnight ago when they last played. I think it was a fortnight ago, wasn't it? Yeah, they had the week off. That's right. There we go. Let's roll on down a little bit. McAndrew's on 9 there for the Suns. Luke Jackson, he's having a quiet one. He's one that needs to lift as well. Just the 8 touches, 3 and 5, 7 hitouts only. There we go. We want to get to Danny Rioli, 7 touches, couple clearances there. Took Miller, just the 7. So a couple of big guns for the Suns, a little bit quiet up until half-time. Josh Tracy yet to hit the scoreboard. He's had his 5 kicks. There we go. The milestone man, Jagger O'Meara, just the 6 touches, just the 1 kick, 5 handballs so far. Bailey Humphrey, as I said, 3 straight goals for the Suns, 6 disposals, 4 kicks. There we go. Ben King looking lively out there. He also hasn't hit the scoreboard for a major. A little bit like, was it Darcy? Was it Darcy? Tracy, I should say. There we go. My gosh. The player's back out on the ground already. Isaiah Dudley. He needs to do a little bit more. Isaiah Dudley, that is for sure. Just, my gosh, I just moved that out. 2 possessions. Let me just pull that. Oh, there we go. We didn't get to the team stats. We'll have a look at them 3/4 time. Where am I? All right, let's get back to that. My gosh. I'm all over the place, folks. Oh, let's head back down to the action for the 3rd quarter. It's the Suns by 25.
Up until now, but can he break it open?
25 points the margin. Win or go home in season 2025. Opportunity to play the Lions awaits. As the 3rd quarter is underway in the elimination final, the Suns through Wits get it down. Rail try to take it. Sarong desperate after it. Young off the right boot, just with a high 1.5 forward contest. Powell attacked it nicely. Erasmus over the top, committed to the cause, and he wins a free kick for his trouble. Put his body on the line to win the hard footy. And now no one on the mark, so he can drive it just a little deeper. In long, Frederick on the stretch.
A good chunk of it.
Played on, swings goalward, and Tracy sends it through. Just the start Freo was searching for.
You're right, Pax. How important was that? Frederick leap. It was a bit of a nothing kick. It was to a spot. There was no real target.
They swap roles. So Frederick's the one that goes to the aerial, and then Tracy kicks one of the very few of his goals from the ground. But Erasmus, it was obviously a bit about control here. He didn't go in immediately. But Frederick, as you said, had a big piece of it. And then Tracy was able to follow up and get there. One of the few times that he's been able to find time and space. But one entry, 1 goal from this quarter already. Good way to start the half, given their inefficiencies in that forward 50 in the first half.
Tracy played it perfectly, didn't he? Turned front and square as soon as he knew he was out of the contest.
A few Docker fans not even back in their seats yet. That happened in a blink. Sarong nearly the clearance. Couldn't find his shoe. And the dynamic duo combine again. Anderson to Rao, Long inside 50 to Spill. Long was superb. King, well, he looked at the options and he took the middle of the 2. He could have gone for goal or the pass. He went to Warner. He split the middle. Got Burton's donkey. He couldn't decide in the end, and in the end he died with his selection.
Yeah, sometimes you've got to take the responsibility to kick it through the big sticks.
Pierce could grab it half back as well for Fremantle to stop the rot here.
Crowd invested to start this 3rd term.
Fair bit of work going further up the field to create a bit of space for Luz Jackson.
Yes, off a step. It was all Suns there, though. There was 3 against Sarong.
Horrible kick.
Powell can go back to Collins.
This is what happens if you don't use the space. If you're Fremantle, you don't use the space. You want to go long down the line. You allow the Gold Coast Suns to use it.
Andrew for Miller. Will always work hard.
Stay clear. Go with him.
They'll be expecting a fight back from Freo. They've conceded the first one of this 3rd quarter. The Suns trying to hold firm. Farah cleverly knocked it back into the corridor. Spilled to Anderson, to King, and then Long. What a snap it was! And the Suns respond.
That's nearly a directed spoil then, back into the centre corridor to be able to find that ground ball and then the hands free. And I think that's what the Suns have done remarkably well. When they've had to defend their back 50, it's been a big spoil, and then let's get on this ground ball. That's Farah, who was able to tap that into the centre corridor and then tried to get involved in the ground ball as it came to pass. But that's you can see that's nearly a set play, and Anderson's so clean there. And then what a finish by Ben Long from the outside of the boot. Good response from the Suns.
It was a good kick. They had the outnumber, so it was 4v3 in that contest. But then you see the spread from the Suns to go from the boundary line into the middle of the ground. That the Fremantle players in that particular play weren't desperate enough. And Gold Coast sensed the opportunity.
Came into this game 12th in the AFL. In the goal kicking this year, Ben Long had a superb year, so it's goal for goal to start it. Brayshaw gets the clearance, but handed it straight to Noble, who left it behind. Young couldn't break away. Davies was slick. Anderson, nice dance step, Mr. Anderson. Long ball, inside 50. Up they fly. King can't mark it. Long down for the crumb. Farah, Long again. Bounce pass. Humphrey, dominant force. He's going for number 4.
It's a floater. Warner gets there. King was waiting for the spill as well. Ball out of play thanks to Cox.
As soon as that ball comes to ground inside the forward 50, they look dangerous, the Suns.
How clean was Humphrey's ground ball there? And it's just the basics done well. Under pressure, when it matters, in a big game, and that's what the Suns are doing at the moment.
Suns have beaten Freo in Perth once, but they've never won at this venue against the Dockers. They made such a promising start to this one, put themselves in a great position.
Well, all the others aren't going to matter, perhaps, if they can get this one done, and that's what they would have told themselves before the game, and they've put themselves in this position. Time to finish off.
We'll scramble for the footy. An attack. Clearing kick by Fremantle. Noble got there first, tucked up on the boundary line. Fiorini sends it back to the hot spot. Jackson to help in defence.
It's a strong mark.
One of the matchups that Justin Lemieux has pulled, Shea Bolton played a fair bit of that first half in the midfield. He started right at full forward in the goal square, so trying to drag out Rioli and some of that run that the Suns are creating.
And Voss takes the market. Good call. Better pad because they're on each other side by side, the two old Richmond teammates, Bolton and Rioli, pushing and shoving.
Got to switch the ball. They're reluctant to switch it. It's where their numbers are.
Heads long, McAndrew. Stilton in his run to it. Howe wrapped up. Good tackle by Tracy. Almost saddled him up and went for the ride.
It's a perfect piece of play. If you want to switch the ball, take the ball to the open side and use your run and your advantage, you can. If you want to go down to a contest, you'll find it hard to score against the Suns.
Sarong at the stoppage to Brayshaw to Murphy Reid. Try to get it up to Bolton. They fed out the handball to Frederick, who slipped and tried to find the footy in his fingertips. And the Suns can get away. Rao. Rare fumble from him, put himself under the pump, and we'll get a ball up.
It's a really poor handball from Shea Bolton there. When you had the opportunity to get out, get the clean ground ball, and that hits the target.
Frederick stopped.
Yeah, there's probably a little bit of miscommunication there for both.
Brayshaw to Jackson, tumbling ball, goalward, bouncing, skidding, right to the line. Andrew saved the day.
That had to have been close.
They're not checking it. They're happy with the call.
Good call by the arm.
Absolutely. And that allows the Suns to play on quickly from full back. Otherwise, they would have been hemmed in. Looping handball was a little untidy. Ewan had to go and mop it up, and he ran into the knee of Bolton. I'm not sure it was Bolton's fault, really. And that's the crowd's thought as well. Ewan given the benefit of that doubt.
Like he slipped one,
yeah. So he ducked his head into it.
And slipped as well, yeah.
The long launch in the King direction, gets up there, didn't hold it long enough. Rao waits for the spill, they wait for him.
Just on that Bolton line, probably could have shown a little bit more care coming into that tackle.
Sarong and Rao to go at it again. Great to see the two midfields just going head to head with each other. As Sarong this time gets it forward, bounce important. Collins slapped it away. Had some Suns in support, but it spilled to Murphy Reid, who can always be damaging on the burst. And this time he hooks it away. A missed opportunity from the youngster.
One thing that we're seeing with the Suns is they just want to get the ball out of that D50 area, whether it's aerial spoil or the punch there that Collins did,
or a dribble kick along the ground to get it out of there.
Well, and it's working for them because I think they believe that they are better at ground ball than their direct opposition, and they'll take the game into that area as much as they possibly can.
So blood rule here, he just checks Rao's face.
Well, that Rao tells him it's always like that. What are you talking about? Ball knocked down. Wouldn't be a game without a bit of blood. Young tries to feed it through. Rao jumps on it. Reid was slick. Jackson pumps it. Well, Tracy stands under it. McAndrew read it well. Now, how's he going to play this? He can't rush it. Had Julian riding shotgun. Good fake. Gave it up. Little fumble from Flanders, and they've worked it nice. Rioli holds it up. Feeds it wide to Miller.
Worked that out really well, the Suns. McAndrew running away from goal with the ground ball. The composure enough to get up, find time and space, and then be able to find a chain out to here.
Up the line, Ethan Reid had it. Rao still bleeding. And caught. And tried the fin. We've seen it paid.
Has to be holding the ball.
They're trying to wipe the blood away from the face of Rao, who's staying out there. Darcy in there. Rao goes in again.
Oh, the bigger cut.
The red ragdoll ball. He's in there.
Eventually they'll tackle him into the ground and wipe his head with the grass so that he can get it clean. Noah Anderson helping him out.
Trying to help him. In and under Witts. Rao continues to move. Out to Anderson. Thought about the step inside. Now gets it to Weller. Over the top they build. Ainsworth on the boundary. Neat step once, twice. Got past two. Left foot kick. Heads goalward. Bounce important. And Humphrey ran into the behind post as he went to take it. And another score to the Suns.
There was about 3 or 4 options with a little corridor pass here once. That's a couple of missed tackles.
I know it's a little thing, but you got to think about that particular that play better than what Clark did. You can't just fly past like that and not apply any pressure.
To the wing, Witts with the big fist down the middle, clean-handed. Here's Rowell again. He's kicked the grass out of his teeth, or maybe he ate it like he normally does. He's got a taste for it right now. Not just this contest, but the grass here. There was a time when this over didn't have much to spare. Jackson out of the bind, gave to Tracy, works his way past a couple of tacklers, gets it to Bolton, flicks it up. Darcy, they come at him, and he dropped it. Could have been ball. Mac Andrew to Flanders. It's wide, and is that 50? It was a late spoil. Ainsworth, it wasn't the required distance, so the spoil was legal, and it knocked it out and get a ball in.
He didn't give up, Ryan. You see there, Nat Fyfe, when do they pull that trigger?
Two-time Brownlow medalist waiting a sub. There's Darcy after it. Rowell again went in hard. Almost could have got a free kick. Sarong to Ryan. Fremantle trying to break it into open space. Suns have some numbers out there though to cover, and Powell will intercept. Holding firm, Gold Coast. And now Miller. Sideways to Noble.
Control, aren't they?
Got some overlap run. Jeffrey on the boot. High ball into the hot spot. Big pack. Brennan Cox, the punch, a push. Free kick goes the Dockers skipper's way.
Just looks more deliberate when the Suns get the ball compared to when Luke Ryan coming out of back half just blazed away to a 2v1 in favour of the Gold Coast. Just need to find the right method and the right options. When they switch the ball, just change it up. Do something different.
So Pierce to Cox down the line in the Jackson direction. He's up and he's got it. And if he rises, the Dockers will rise with him. Loops the handball wide. Sarong further on. Driscoll inside. Jackson. Back to Sarong. Back to the hot spot. Jump right. Free kick downfield, and it's Voss who will take it here.
I reckon there's very little in that. Very little in that. But the contact actually came, Reeds tried to stop that contact as much as possible. It's that one's not there either.
He didn't move toward him, he just held his ground. So again, if you're playing at home, you can make your own decision up whether you reckon that was worth the downfield, and it might cost big time.
4 goals down, it's an important kick, isn't it?
Absolutely, and he's been hot. Patrick Voss. Nice in his veins again so far tonight. Till now, footy gods perhaps just letting us know whether they thought that was worthy of a downfield free kick or not. Good to have him here. We need a bit of help.
See the jacket coming off for Nat Fyfe. See creeping closer to being injected into this game. Long ball. Punched away by Pierce. It's to the boundary. Scramble kick off the right boot by O'Driscoll. Murphy Reid trying to fight through the tackle, ran out of room. As he goes toe-to-toe with Noble. Crowd will start to get aware that Fyfe is getting ready. He's got a...
That's through his hour of warm-up.
Yeah, much longer routine to get himself ready for the action these days.
Popped the calf warming up a couple of weeks ago, sub.
Darcy down, Brayshaw, try to bend, threw the footy away, holding the ball to call. Now the Suns can launch. Jeffrey out to space, big contest this, bouncing footy. Benfield got there first, gained some territory, spills to Powell. Suns keep cool. Flanders back to Andrew. Long ball up the line on the Reid. Ethan Reid takes it on the lead.
Yeah, I don't know about the wisdom of the kick off the deck. And you can take possession in a hot contest like this.
Have the poise, back your hands in to be able to scoop it and go.
I think it's just been off the back of an immense pressure quarter from the Suns. You see there, that is huge from both sides, but certainly the Gold Coast Suns just not letting the Dockers any time and space.
So in emergency break glass, and it's emergency time now. 24 points down halfway through this third. Slapped out in the Brayshaw direction. Little basketball dribble from Wicks was clever. Rao runs away from the tacklers. Noble heads to the pocket. He wants long, and he gets him.
The kick had to be perfect, and it was. Luke Ryan was right on his hammer. So it was a good kick and a really good mark. Protected the ball. Did long. You can see there, just not chewing up his space too early. Pointing where he wanted it. And then it was a foot race.
That bit of an early jump, which makes it a lot harder for the defender behind to be able to see the ball, let alone get his hand to it.
Mate, the All-Australian scored a 44 this year. Best season of his career. This is within his repertoire. To cross the face. Dockers have the numbers and out of bounds. Not such a bad option for the Suns. They can reset for a ball in and create some chaos.
Yeah, this is where they've found some space. Haven't they, Dwayne? Certainly defensive side. And Fiorini all by himself.
In such a dangerous spot. Nathan Reid in the ruck. Darcy sharked the tap, then got it away. Dudley scooped it up, slapped away by Brayshaw. Andrew read it quickly, can feed it away now to Rioli. The Suns attacking it at every opportunity. Miller to Jeffrey, up and under, high ball. They all camp underneath, and King judged it the best. Protected the footy as he went back to take the grab.
Well, if we have a look at the early work that Ben King puts in here, it's not dissimilar to the Voss contest that gave the free kick away. He actually just, manages to work Cox off the ball, comes back in here, finds the body, forces him off, and then comes back up at the ball. That was an excellent, firstly, being able to read where the ball is, and then being able to keep his eyes on it long enough to go and win it.
A massive season for their star full forward. On his boot, he leans back and misses. As we spoke about earlier, he's been so accurate this season with his finishing. He leaves that one out there.
3 behinds now for a man who came in with 69 goals, 19 to his name. Biggest haul in Gold Coast history. They dodge a bullet there. Darcy and Ethan Reid, strength from the Fremantle big man. Used his size and his wherewithal. Kept front spot. Hops it down the line. Bolton's going to have to jump. Gets up there, flicked away. Hewlin's second punch was fantastic. Got it in the Butterick direction. Banfield just as hard. Dwight Driscoll pokes it. Brayshaw went to ground. He tried the big jousting stick on Rowell. Didn't quite work. Yes, it did. He got it to Reid, who wants to go. There's the inside kick. Dangerous. Too dangerous. Farah went and got it. Now he's got King long or long.
It's the role of the half forward to come up and try and cut off that switch. Sarong didn't realise that the ball was meant for him.
Gets plenty of air in that. King's going to have to motor to get there. And the big fist went out. I think Ryan's going to be content with this rolling out. And he rolled himself out cleverly in the end.
So that Murphy Reid kick goes inboard, and Farah's able to turn it over. And pretty much every player in the field didn't know exactly what needed to happen from that point on, because it hasn't been there. Like, there's been none of that lateral kick from Fremantle to try and get out to open side. So Farah did the right thing, held onto it, just to wait for the opportunity to maintain territory.
Erasmus, Sarong, rode the tackle, got it to Darcy. Dudley wrestling there with Jeffrey. Murphy Reid went in hard. Spills away again. Tough footy to win. Suns kick their feet. Miller got it back out. Jeffrey goes inside 50 again. Brenton Cox slaps the footy away to the boundary.
It just goes to show, as dangerous as that kick is, and if it comes off Sarong, they've got an inside 50. It turns over, but yet the Gold Coast, they don't have any room to move. They can't go forward. They can't go straight towards goal because it's congested through Fremantle players. So keep taking that risk in the middle of the ground.
Brilliant side at Optus Stadium. The Suns fans will be enjoying what they're seeing. O'Driscoll out of defence. Tracy. Andrew with the punch. Almost could have claimed the mark. Now Weller is tackled by Sarong.
what we're seeing here is a famous performance. The Suns have come to play. They've set themselves up. This is their first time on this stage. It's their first time in September. They've handled themselves with aplomb. They've played clean footy. They've played tough football. They've asked a real question of the home team in this last 40-odd minutes. Can they find something?
Fremantle played famous footy against the Dogs to get into this position. They don't want to blow it now. Ton of time left in this. The Suns' confidence is high, and the Dockers have not made any inroads in this third term. The margin at half-time was 25. It's 25 now. Equal biggest margin of the game for either team. No Suns ruck. Darcy hammers it. Big-fisted Powell went safety first. Huge ball to win it. Sarong got there, gave it to Frederick. He's had some moments, and he's cut in half by Miller. Handball inside. Anderson was clever. The turn from Noble, just as good. Anderson heads long towards goal. Can he get it home? Touched on the line. They'll check it. Touched on the line. They won't check it.
He thought it was there. He followed it through, but this tackle here from Miller, and then the little tap from Anderson, and then to get it back, Ryan there just in time.
What a lunge from Luke Ryan to save the goal from Anderson.
And how clear is the intention of the Suns? They're not trying to intercept mark unless they're absolutely clear. They want to kill the ball, no soft drops, get it out into space, because they believe their legs is the one that can get it, that can win the ball and then be able to move it. Have a look at that pressure factor in the last 10 minutes.
Jackson got it down. Sarong knocked it on. He and Rao go at it again. Been a good battle in that midfield. Rao just throws his body around. Got the footy to spill. Miller gets involved. Weller too. Rao now back on the charge. Suns building inside 50. Long ball up towards Farah. Ryan with the spoil away. Ainsworth trying to take it. Danger times for Fremantle. Their defence holds up. Clark trying to escape. Loopy old handball. Chapman swallowed. Great pressure from Gold Coast. It is game on in this third term.
The pressure's awesome. No time and space for Fremantle. The tackling pressure has been a lead all game, particularly in this third term.
Justin Longview working out what he's going to pull from his bag of tricks right now. Tracy weaves his way past a couple, but it was a blind kick, and Collins knew exactly where it was going. He's got the boundary line if he wants it. He didn't want it. He'd taking it on, and he took it onto his peril. O'Meara put it to grass, though. Erasmus mopped up his man. Erasmus dives inside with a kick. Splendid. Brayshaw. He turns. Who does he want? He's got a selection. He might go all the way. He pulls it late. And this is the moment for Dudley.
Really clever. Really clever by Brayshaw. I thought he's going to have a shot at goal. It's only 4 Gold Coast defenders.
Yeah, they dropped off, didn't they?
Pre-season pick. Isaiah Dudley, first game since he was subbed out in round 22 against Port Adelaide. 16th game of his debut season. 13 goals, 9. And he makes the most of his moment. Isaiah Dudley.
How important was that for the Dockers? And I wonder if Sam Collins would have his time again, keeping that ball in. And Erasmus, their kick, missed tackles end up, they cost you. Like the Dockers' missed tackles have cost them one end. And then that missed tackle there, Erasmus was able to get through and he squared it up. And then Brayshaw, that's great composure to be able to drive his legs. Have all the Suns players heading back towards goal, thinking they might be able to stop it on the line, and then Dudley just ticks back up. An important finish from a very skilled, talented young fella to be able to finish there and keep his team in the mix.
Last player added to the list for Fremantle in 2025, just before the start of the season, and he's kicked a goal in an elimination final.
4 goals to 1 out of the centre bounce in favour of 302.
Margin back to 20. Crowd rising. O'Driscoll tackled strongly. Humphrey's been up for the contest all evening. Jackson and Witts. Jackson sharked it himself. Got it to Clark. Kick smothered, but it spilt to Young, who spilt it himself. Socket out of there by Anderson. Witts took the contact, lost the footy. Brayshaw drives through, tumbling ball forward. Pack was up, off hands. Suns try to scramble. Rioli fleet of foot. Back there first. Power forced wide. Bolton had him. Pressure arrives. Stays in play. Bolton still goes. Great tackle, Jeffrey. Not rewarded. Stopped. Everyone stopped. And now the umpire off the play. 60, 70 metres off the play. Played the free kick for holding the ball.
I think he saved everyone's bacon there. He just caught the free because stopping and having nothing happen was a bad option for both parties. Long kick. Witts attacks it. Jackson late. Got a fist on it. Big couple of minutes coming up here to three-quarter time. Hope pass to Miller is on the boundary and it stayed in. Clark, Chapman, they've got a spark here at the Dockers. O'Driscoll, Chapman, inside, hand off to Brayshaw. He's got some one-on-ones. Dudley might be the man. He goes and gets. Has he got this kicking in? He gave the play on some thought. He ignores Murphy.
It didn't seem till late. He was coming from a long way away, but
Here comes Ryan.
That was the positioning and the kick at Brayshaw again. He's had a huge last 5 minutes to try and drag his side back into it.
Isaiah Dudley opens it up, bangs it long. Has he got the distance? Maybe Isaiah Dudley's the man. The flash of their ID might get into a semi.
There's energy in the stadium now, isn't there? I just think the leadership of Brayshaw has been huge. He's been able to stand up. He's actually drawn the ball into central positions, and his teammates have started driving their legs towards it to look for him.
Bit of handball. So that's been the challenge, right? We've mentioned it throughout the course of the day. Can they get the ball to the open side? Because you can see how uneasy the Suns defenders look. They're trying to make up ground. They're trying to make decisions on the run. They're finding options forward the ball.
This is one of the things that happens. So if you've been down the line, kicking it long into your forward 50, and then all of a sudden you do change direction. The Suns defenders, it takes a little while for them to adjust because they haven't had to defend that type of ball movement all night.
Isaiah Dudley, the nephew of Eddie Betts, the cousin of Cozzy Pickett, making a name for himself on the big stages. The Dockers are getting a lift. Young and Erasmus combine up towards Dudley again, trying to knock it out of hand. Powell, the collision, and Powell takes them on, bursting with a couple of bounces. Stabs the kick in. Brilliant delivery.
That win by Powell was huge. Young had drifted forward. He was going to be the spare if that ball had to come out. He's a big win.
And his kick.
So you stop a goal or a potential goal at one end, you create one at the other.
And Humphreys has had much the better of this matchup with Benfield throughout the night also. He hasn't had many touches.
Only Humphrey, 3 goals in that second quarter. The noise of the crowd rising at Optus Stadium, that really could have taken a sting out of it again, but a missed opportunity.
He miskicked that and covered the line by 15 metres. He's got some power, the young fella.
9-13 tells the story. They could be further in front. Wanting some chances. Chapman. A little bit of time to spend here for the Dockers, but how do they want to spend it? Aggressively or conservatively? Down the line to a 3-on-3. McAndrew got there toward the boundary of the fist. Reset here.
Yeah, they've been much better in the contest. +8 in clearances, +10 in contested possessions in the third quarter alone.
And Fife will wait a little longer to get his chance out there. Either he or David Swallow. It'll be their final game of footy. Ball knocked down. Davies in there fighting for it. Sarong trying to get to work. It's built to Young. Chance for Fremantle to break. Great smother. Brilliance from Anderson. Gets it back going the Suns' way. How pivotal could that moment be? Rowell inside 50. Pearce in the other direction. Knocked it down. Humphrey close to the line. Made it tougher for himself. And then Warner backstretched. Touched off the boot. They only just realise it. And Warner can escape. Can get it out to Chapman. Fremantle have to take it on. Warner continues to go. Young now. Breakneck speed. Brayshaw dropped it, lost it, found it again. Erasmus socketed it away. They're living dangerously. Sarong goes through. He buffeted it off one. Back to Young. Now they straighten. Fremantle roll. One ball in. Tracy and Jackson. Ball hit the deck. Still alive. Bolton tried to pinch it. Crowd right into it. 13 seconds remaining in the third quarter.
That was tense. 13 seconds. Can they hold on here, the Gold Coast Suns, or do Fremantle get an opportunity?
Fremantle want a late one. Slap down. Flanders will clear it. They might see the danger away. Perhaps not.
It's got to go.
Pierce just has to get it in there. Chips it in short. Sarong. Siren will sound. Too far from goal. He'll go back and try to launch one, but surely beyond the realms.
It'll have to be a 65-metre taunt. And you've got to contend with a ruckman on the line.
And Caleb Sarong, and he's going to go the taunt. He was a forward as a junior. We know him as a midfielder, but it was always going to be an ambitious attempt from that sort of range. The Dockers lifted late. The return of the champ is imminent. Nat Fyfe getting ready to get into this one. 15 points the margin as we turn for home in this elimination final. Do not go anywhere. And there's plenty coming up, of course, on Fox Footy on 360.
All right, folks, there, three-quarter time. What I say, we're going to have a ring-a-ding-ding final quarter. It's 15 points the margin here, 9-13, 67. The Dockers 8-4, 52. The Dockers can thank the Lordy that the Suns aren't kicking straight. There we go, the Dockers in that third term. But they put on 3 goals too. Of course, the Suns only 1 goal 4. I tell you what, another Freo comeback needed. Well, they need to, or it's lights out, season over. I'll tell you what, they had a good piece of momentum happening there for a little bit there. Tell you what, this could come down to the kick after the siren. This game could come down to the kick after the siren. You just never know. They pegged them back by 10 points in that third term. They've got to do it by 15. I'll tell you what, the first goal will be important. If Freo get the first goal, they're going to feel that momentum is still in their way. If the Suns get it, that's just going to stretch it out, make it a little bit tougher. Hey, let's have a quick glance. We didn't have a look at the whatchamacallits, team stats at half-time. Let's just have a quick look at the top goal scorers, top disposal getters. We'll have a look at the team stats. Bailey Humphrey still tops the table with 3 goals there for the Gold Coast Suns. Ben Long with 2, Buderick with 2, Fioroni, Davies with 1. For Flagmantle, Paddy Voss, the Prancing Pony's got 2. Isaiah Dudley, the nephew of Eddie Betts, son of all, can you believe it? Tell you what, he's not too bad, is he, Isaiah Dudley? Hard to believe he kicked that goal from about 50, the little fella, but he got it. Josh Tracy with 1, Murphy Reid, Aramis and a miss also with 1. Top disposal getters out on the ground. 2 players lead the way. Caleb Sarong, 26. He's having a cracking game, 9 clearances as well with his 26 touches. Noah Anderson, captain, 26, 5 clearances. Matty Rao, 25, continues to bustle his way. And Andy Brayshaw, 4 stars up the top there. They're doing all their possessions up there. I just have a quick look at the team stats before we go any further. See how close this game is. It's only 10 disposals plus to the Suns. Inside 50s, 12 scoring shots for the goal for Fremantle, I should say. 12 scoring shots for Fremantle, 42 inside 50s. The Gold Coast Suns have been inside 39 times, but 22 times they've scored. So they're always looking dangerous going inside their forward 50. Are the Suns there. Disposal efficiency, not too bad for both teams at around 72, 73%. Free kicks, plenty given. 15-17, so not too bad. Just a couple plus there to the Gold Coast Suns. The hit-outs, the Suns winning. Witts is doing a good job there. 39-27 clearances. That's pretty tight, isn't it? Eh? That's pretty tight, 37-34. It's the Dockers +1 out of the centre and +2 around the ground. Contested possessions, we knew this was going to be tight. It's a strong contested game. This one, 112 to 109. Only 3 the difference. Only 5 in uncontested. There we go. Dockers turning it over a little bit more. 49-37. It'll be interesting to see the tackle count. The marks, 43-45. Dockers, surprisingly, 8 marks inside their forward 50. The Suns only 5, plus 2 in the contested marks. I want to have a look at this tackle count, because I thought this would be, it'd be reasonably up there, so that's good. That's a lot better number there for the Dockers than normal. Season average 60, 58, so they're definitely bringing a little bit of pressure, which they need to do. The Suns, 48, so trail by 10, both teams 7 tackles inside their forward 50, so that is not too bad. Interesting umpire tonight. I tell you what, some of those off the ball ones, especially the one, I know the one right down the end when the prancing pony was trying to push off and make a little bit of space, and the free kick was turned around. Yeah, look, that's a little bit iffy, and especially that other one where the Freo player ran into the Gold Coast player, and it was called like dumping after he kicked it. I mean, that was an absolute joke. The umpiring has to be fixed up before next week's second round of finals. All right, folks, hey, good luck to both sides. Good luck, Dockers. Good luck to the Suns. Let's hope this is a ring-a-ding-ding final quarter. Let's hope this comes down to within a kick. Let's make it a nail-biter. Let's make it exciting for the fans out there. But for now, we are going to head back down to the action, back down to the ground. Game is about to start. We're about 12 seconds away. We'll head back down there. It's the Gold Coast Suns by 15 points.
It's a pretty good track record when trailing at three-quarter time. You can see there the Dockers have won 5 times when trailing at the last break, the most of any side this season. What are we going to see in this final quarter? It's back to our commentators, Dwayne Russell and Adam Papalia.
For one of these two teams, their season will end in 1 quarter of football's time. For the other, into the last 6 for 2025.
Andrew Brayshaw was so big in that third quarter. Had 9 touches, 5 inside 50s, 3 clearances, 3 score assists. Be looking to have another big quarter. Needs a couple of mates to come with him.
Neither of these teams have ever won an AFL flag. To keep their season alive, they've got a quarter left, and Anderson extracts it. Touched, Miller Whitten got it. Dive back inside, got it to Rowell. Heads wide, thinks about Humphrey, fisted away. Back into the congestion for Urini. Humphrey hits a good spot with the kick. It's over King's head. The fist. Farah off the palm. Well, Jai Farah out of nowhere.
Yeah, well, he was a lucky recipient of an error from Banfield. Just imagine the talk between Pearce and Banfield. He could have marked that. It was a tricky kick. It was put into a spot that was dangerous. It wasn't a high kick, so you don't have much time to react. You just see there, Banfield tried to spoil it over his head towards the boundary. Farrell was there. Great finish. Sucked all the air out of the crowd.
Looks like Jai Amos has been subbed, the tactical sub, so Nat Fyfe very close to entering this game, and there's been a few moves as well. Amira's gone down back to begin, or at least he's started there in that last quarter. So Fremantle shuffling the magnets right now.
And every time they've mounted a challenge, the Suns have found a response. Brilliant goal to Farah. And back out of the middle, Sarong into double-digit clearances. Tumbles the footy inside 50. Jeffrey left it behind. Tracy goes in. Almost found Young. Then lays the tackle on Andrew. And a stoppage inside 50 for Fremantle.
This is you can if you dance, you get creative. And Witts just has to provide a big contest.
Two-time Brownlow medalist ready to go. The sub has been made. As Pav told us, Miller with a clearing ball. Important one to meet. King attacked it, got the handball out to Butterick, now to Farah, who just kicked that great goal. The Dockers pinch it back. Brennan Cox will go across the ground to Erasmus.
Young still in the middle.
And now they'll chip it over the top for the run of Chapman. They can build. He's trying to direct traffic, ignored Tracy, went longer instead. Jackson there, Jeffrey the spoil, boundary line.
Yeah, a couple of opportunities missed there through the centre corridor, wasn't it, Hayden Young? I know who I'd rather trying to kick the ball inside forward 50. Hayden Young's better than nearly every other player in the competition, so you've got to try and get the ball into his hands in the attacking mid and let him do his thing.
So Murphy, Reid, Bolton, they're all there. Who's going to get the knockdown? Bolton nearly trapped it. Nearly. Rowell That core strength again. He got a handball away, but straight to Erasmus. Went back inside. Young. Chapman goes long. Jackson's got a float in. Tracy from 14. Bolton time! Opens it up and bends it home. Shake and shake. Huge goal.
That was an amazing front and centre, and Josh Tracy, really set himself to go at that aerial contest. He come from a long way. He was going to make that his own. Shy Bolton probably saw that, understood exactly where the crumb was going to go. See Tracy going hard here, front and centre, and then the turn of pace just to be able to go straight to the goal line. Great goal.
He got handed over, Bolton, to Rioli. And Rioli just didn't follow it through.
They needed that response, didn't they? Like that first Farah goal just took the air out of the tyres a little bit, but now they're right back in.
Bolton pumped up, margin back to 15. Every centre clearance will be crucial. Darcy and Witts knocked down Rowell and Young battle. Brayshaw tried to soccer it. Spilt to Darcy. Thought about on the boot. It was dislodged. Sarong went in. Davies was hard after it. Clark with a good tackle.
Must have got his hand to it. Darcy.
Very close to being pinged for holding the footy. Darcy to hit out. Young. Brayshaw. Handball before he hit the ground. Clark. Sarong down low. Nowhere to go.
It's twice now. Look, it looks like Fremantle are going to be out of that clearance, and the Suns' pressure and desperation just to keep it in.
Two big rucks wrestle. Anderson nudged off it by Young, but reeled it in. Tried to get back to his feet. Darcy's kick was blanketed. Knocked on by Young. Great tap. Releases Brayshaw. Had a big second half. Sends it in. Jackson stretched. Collins able to take it. Just a millimetre away. Hewlin was taken high. Free kick advantage. It'll go the way of the Suns. Rioli's away.
Doesn't want to waste it. Brayshaw hunts him down and pressurises the kick. It was inferred pressure. Sarong inside to Young. He slipped. Couldn't get the traction. His wheels were slipping, and he slipped into a high. Worked in his favour.
Very similar to high Hewlin tackle that we saw last quarter.
Ryan.
Bolton deep.
They can feel it right now. Fremantle. Jackson's the man. Got it. Not long enough. Gee, had a big piece of it. He's claiming the umpire. What about me?
You have moments in games, don't you, that almost, that stuck. It definitely stuck.
As well as Collins not looking at the ball.
Darcy down. Anderson. Reed got him in a good tackle. Davies holding the ball. Did he get a handball away there?
He did. I reckon he might have been just a bit too slow. But it looked like he got a hand on it.
So Bolton's got the free kick.
May have just come down to time.
Tremendous tackle. And Shea Bolton.
It doesn't look like it was a handball, doesn't it?
Sarong in there. Just infringed. Trying to get the knuckle onto the Sharon. As Nat Fife comes onto the ground, the crowd roars. With a footy with Shea Bolton, who's done it all before. They brought him to the club to kick the big goals. And he leaves that one out there behind. Nat Fife is out there.
Bolton was probably worried about what they were cheering for.
So Nat Fife out there in game 248. Will it be his last? David Swallow in game 248 as well, yet to be injected into the game. Banfield got there, knocked it down. Rowell knew exactly where it was going. Gave it up to Ainsworth. Outside of the boot kick is a horror. Perfect if you're Fremantle, although Darcy puts it down. King, his eyes opened up, goes to Reed in the middle. Pierce, captain's mark. He's doing it all again. Hands it off. Warner.
Well, Darcy had his head in his hands. As soon as Pierce marked that, he took him out. He took his head out and started to play again.
Calling for the ball central here. Tracy, point of the centre square. If they're going to go long, they'll go long towards the corridor.
Box sends the footy long. Tracy, strong hands. Fremantle building into it. Open forward line. They want to get it quick. In towards Voss. Collins swallows it.
poor by Luke Jackson. Yeah, and Sam Collins once again prepared to leave his man get in front of him.
Now the Suns, how much do they want to take it on? Well, Dockers ratcheting up the pressure. Fife's first touch isn't a possession, but it's a crucial one. Sarong to Young, out to Frederick. 50 from home, lead to the pocket. Bolton almost.
Right.
Powell with a terrific punch.
Yeah, Bolton was off then on the lead, and we know that what he's got from speed from the stand start, and he was off. And Powell had to react and was still able to get there to put the fist in and spoil that mark. That was a great defensive
There's David
play.
Swallow into the game.
So all the champs are out there. Swallow, the original Sun, gets his opportunity. Long ball, Ryan. He'll take the advantage. He thought about it. He might have to stop. He'll go inside 50. Looking for the tall timber. Young to the front. Punched down by Gold Coast. Rao able to extract it. And now they can go away with Flanders and Anderson. And Cooley done up the wing to Long.
It's an amazing chrono, Rao.
Yeah. Just gets, you're right, gets the front and centre. Doesn't overcomplicate it.
Wide ball, Ethan Reid the target. He's got Pearce for company. Pearce, safety first. Clever as ever. Matt Stovey, Mark Gath, Port Adelaide, maybe a season saver a few weeks ago. Been deafening in here for the last 10 or so minutes. 14 points the margin. The biggest margin was 26. The home team coming hard now. Belief's grown. Sarong's their man. So too O'Meara in game 200. Rolls it toward the boundary. Clean bowled a couple of them. Howell kept it alive. Goes long. Can Sarong get there? Heart and soul takes the mark.
31st disposal coming up for Caleb Sarong. 11 clearances. He'll go high up the wing. Wits with a punch. At the spill, O'Meara. Now to Bolton. Across to Young. They're running in a few more numbers. O'Meara ran into trouble. Caught and gone. Turnover. Suns back the other way. Ethan Reid. They peel away from him. Long on the charge. Open forward line here for the Suns if they go quick. They look to the pocket. Kick goes in that direction and Pearce intercepts again.
Yeah, good protection by Cox as well. King was trying to provide a lead. Cox just protected Pearce.
And on Tommy Hafey style, they're going to kick it away. Pearce ain't at the moment. Knocks it with a fist, but DeYoung, and he hammers it. One-on-one with Hewlin. Goss wanted to knock that down and Pounds, but he'll take the win.
Once again, the big spoil that prevents the soft drop and the opportunity for the forward to get back on it or a crumb to go forward from that. Hewlin, Collins, Andrews, all of the defenders have been excellent from the Suns to be able to prevent that.
Full house. There's been a couple of 60,000 crowds here for sport over time. But this is some sort of joint right now. It's rocking. And Voss, what keep the rocking going? Back to Fremantle.
He charges off again. Stay on.
That's where he gets the high speed running.
He just keeps his feet. Once again, it was a stoppage win. It was a clearance coming out the front. It was dangerous ones. You see here the run work between Darcy, the connection, and Sarong on the move. He had a huge third quarter. He's been good again in the early part of this fourth term. Hewlin and Voss one-on-one. Hewlin goes to ground. Voss keeps his feet. So strong. And brings it back to 8 points. Nate Fife in the middle. Sarong, Brayshaw, Anderson, Davies, and Rao.
He ran that hard. He needs to get some treatment. Patrick Voss. 8-point ball game. 12 and a half to play. Elimination final. Season done for the loser. The winner to play the Lions as O'Driscoll and Rao go after it. Davies was important. Got it out to Flanders. Kick inside 50. Pearce playing a huge game back there, the Freo skipper.
What'd you say, Dwayne?
Got to kick it to where Pearce ain't Tommy Hafey.
His last five, the last 3 or 4 entries for the Suns.
That's only 50 for
It's been all him.
The cheers for Nat Fife. The two-time Brownlow medalist will just go wide. Pearce into Warner. Now Fremantle will have to go a little slower. Certainly taking the game on a lot more in this final turn.
Well, they've got no choice, really. Now, Jackson's in a spot here. He's just got a palm on it, knocked to the back. Andrew has to show some poise. He made it Powell's problem, really. Davies, Powell, he's got the poise. To Wits, not your run and carry guy. Anderson is. And he makes a good choice. Rioli feeds it further on to Powell. Had to mop it up. Turned over, cut down. And here goes Murphy Reid. He'll make a good decision. Has a little bounce. A poke pass. Bolton, not quite. Wits the crumb, not quite. Intensity's gone up. The noise has gone up. They pumped the volume up to 11. Hear the crowd. Howell looks around. He wants the short outlet wide. Anderson. Dudley didn't come at him initially. Ethan Reid and Pearce. They can't pierce the wall of Pearce.
And now Fife will go aggressively towards Tracy, who clumps the mark. Open space ahead. He waits for the option. Brayshaw works. Strong hands to hold on.
You're talking about they had no options. It's only 8 points. There's still 10 minutes left on the clock.
Away to Tracy. Loads up into the hot spot. Looking for Jackson. Knocked down. Bolton half a chance. Scramble on the line. It's a behind.
But it is the challenge for the Gold Coast Suns now. Because they're playing so conservative, Pearce is able to set up behind the ball where he wants, where he knows the ball will go. It's really predictable. So how can the Suns move the ball now to a position where they think they can score?
If the Suns win this, Damien Harbert will have coached against Nat Fife in his very first game and his last game. What's Damien Harbert got left in his bag of tricks? Wide ball, Wits got there, Ethan Reid got there, Pearce was in the middle of it, little fumble, Farah, Banfield, inside, aggressive. Clark loops it, Anderson read his mind, feeds it back out to Wits, to Weller. The ex-Docker turns and goes. He's got Long and the Ryan one-on-one. Good contest. Ryan's plucked that. Umpire said no, you didn't. And now we'll cut him some slack with the ball up. And that's sometimes the funny part about our game. It could have been touched play on, but they cut him some slack because he didn't know.
10 minutes to go. Season on the line. 7 points in it. Jackson attacked it. Erasmus cleared it. Bouncing footy. Breaks towards the boundary. Noble straight after it. Andrew's got some problems. Stepped out of the tackle of Bolton. Noble goes back the other way. Now Rao. Left foot kick. Launches long. Jackson back to help. In the fingertips again. Banfield. He's tackled. Farah. And he will be held up.
Jackson's got his hands to a few tonight, hasn't he? That should have been a mark.
Just no time or space out there for anyone. You've got to be clean.
Through the legs of Rao. Sarong another clearance. Goes up the wing. Tracy, Bolton, ricochet. Spills Frio's way. Tracy cleared a path when there was none. Rioli up to it. Andrew in there. Quick hands. They escape away. Advantage goes the Suns' way. To the wing and they find Rao.
Does he want to go, Matt Rao? He waits.
Dan Rioli's really saw in the middle of the ground from that contest with Tracy. It was huge.
He can hardly walk at 17 on 18 right now. Wits will fly from 4 deep. Chapman the crummer. Fell again into a high. Umpire didn't pay it this time. From the scramble. Huge ball to win. Davies flings it out to the wrong guy, Erasmus. To Fife. The superstar gets it back to Clark. Hammers it away. Rao goes hard. Young goes hard. Big ball to win. Young wins it to Brayshaw and they're out. Voss, he collects. He's got Frederick Long. He goes back with a looping handball to Warner, who has to go and fetch it. They're coming at him. Pocket picked. Brilliance. Banfield couldn't get there. Couldn't turn in time. Budrick turned into a jam. On hands and knees. Miller couldn't find a target. Brayshaw cut down. Young looks up. He's got fast. Freddie at the back. Frederick's got Tracy. He sits it on him. The volume's gone up. Fremantle have left it. It's season over for one of these two. in 7 minutes and 50 seconds unless we get extra time.
It's been all Fremantle, hasn't it? Even when it's gone in their D50, they've controlled that. They've been able to control transition through the middle of the field, give themselves the best scoring opportunities, and this is one.
To make it a 1-point game. The big kahuna with the big moment.
Well, it could have gone either way, couldn't it, Bucks? Centre-half forward for the Gold Coast Suns.
Yeah, well, Patrick Voss had it and handballed back. It looked like they were out and their way, and that's what finals do to you. You think that when you have time and space, you think you have none. And that the pressure that's brought to bear, like the tackling's been ferocious. There's people, opposition players coming at you from every angle to be able to put a fingernail on to prevent a clean transition by hand or by foot, and that finish by the big fella. His contest at ground level against Daniel Rioli we'll have a look at after the game, I'm sure, because that was huge on both sides. Both players were fantastic, but Tracy gets up and he finishes.
6 of the last 7, Dwayne. Fremantle have kicked.
57,507 watching on at the stadium. The noise immense, and we got a 1-point ball game with a season on the line as Brayshaw ripped it out of there to Fife. The long kick inside 50, just short of Voss, pitched on the half volley. The Suns under the pump. Collins in there, Jeffrey. O'Driscoll powered whistle. Free kick. Suns way.
Unsure what that was for.
That might have been too long, maybe after. Little things are big things now. Wide to Powell. It just keeps on keeping on.
Well, the hardest thing for the Gold Coast Suns is to take the game on. They've been conservative. Fremantle fed off it. Alex Pearce down the line.
So King with Cox. King from behind.
Good mark.
Likes it. That is huge.
Good speed on the ball. Alex Pearce is being turned around.
So he's got the Witts Jackson contest long. He sits it up toward them. Witts goes. Jackson goes. Farah got some high jump at it, but couldn't quite pluck the mark on his way down.
Yep, so Farah is the player who is responsible for Alex Pearce. Right, he had a good piece of that one.
So Fife and Swallow, side by side, the two subs, the two old-timers. One of their careers is going to be over in a matter of minutes. And we'll get another ball up on attacking 50 for the Suns, who led by 26 and now lead by 1.
Jackson over the top, spills down, Flanders, tackled, Brayshaw desperate, Erasmus clean, got it to Young, over the top they break, Murphy Reid with some run to the wing, Miller gives chase, Reid looks up, chips for Bolton, just knocked down, Reid goes again, well played by Powell, saw it out against 2, he's had some big efforts.
Oh, look, I mean, he's been exceptional today, and it's just so marginal. The difference between winning the contest and it being halved, and Powell again on that lead. Who can go with Shea Bolton when he goes like that? Will Powell can.
Witt's front spot, ripped it out of the air. Jackson gets the clearance, so it's a roll of the chaos ball. Tracy tried to scoop up. Hewlin the shrug and a high bomb. King, Cox, Fife stands under it, and Fife! They're all-time great! Is that going to change the game? The crowd rises, he rose. Head short. The mark taken by Brayshaw. They are threatening to take the lead back here.
Brayshaw will pump it in towards the top of the square. Any score, there's a Falcon, and it is scores level in the elimination final with 5 minutes to go.
Andrew Brayshaw, what sort of a game is this bloke having? Fife here does what he's done his whole career, stays under a high ball, takes a contested mark.
Witt stands under it. Ryan and Cox fly with him. Witt's got hands on it. Brayshaw, it's there somewhere. They can't extract it. So extra time. 3-minute halves if scores are level. At the end of this last 4:59. Edge of the seat stuff. Swallow
Farah and Pierce. Guess who?
The skipper stands tall again.
It's letting it all hang out too, I think.
He's lost his scrunchie.
They're going to send it long. Scores level in the elimination final. Powell! Well, at one end it's Pierce, at the other it's Powell, and he gets them moving. And now it's the champ for the Suns in Swallow, who looks up, missed the kick to Humphrey. Chapman close late. Scrap for the footy. Dockers with numbers. Clark off the left boot. Kicks it wide. Boss made a heap of ground.
In the middle, Young if he wants him.
Looks for an option. Finds a good one. Young off that lethal left. Sends it long. Jackson! He's been the hero many times this season. And he stands up again. Big inside 50. And a chance to put the Dockers in front.
You see here, he was behind McAndrew. But just the athleticism. 2-footer jump. Basketball background. Is this a big moment?
The magic of the unicorn at a crucial time. 3:30 remain. They've trailed most of the night. The Dockers have the lead.
So once again, it was ball movement. So Alex Pierce took his 5th intercept mark for the quarter. They can't get past him. And the place is rocking at the moment. We said at three-quarter time, what can Hayden Young do? He's had 10 disposals for the quarter right here to chase. The missed kick by Swallow.
It's a missed opportunity there. When you come in as sub, but you come in a bit cold, you got to try to take those chances. He'll rue that. But then Patrick Voss is one of the few times he's been able to get up in front of Sam Collins, and this vision here and the kick. And you know from right there, the Dockers are advantaged to be able to score and be able to take full toll. And Luke Jacks, that was an excellent contested mark and finish.
Close to 60,000 in here. Ed Sheeran had 73,092 in here, but they weren't rocking like it's rocking now.
And we're pretty much in win the game or save the game mode. Fremantle will probably keep playing out the next couple of minutes, but Gold Coast now going to roll the dice.
Get aggressive. Forward hits.
No need to tell you how big this clearance is. Sarong wins it. They get him.
It's same again.
Congest it now, you'd think.
Same again. One defensive player from the Suns. The next 2 or 3 need to be aggressive.
Frederick's gone behind the ball for the Dockers. Young caught by Davies. More seconds off the clock.
Rioli just sitting at the back of the stoppage. He's the high half back.
It's the Suns that have to take the chances now. Rioli caught, immediately going nowhere. Another ball up. More seconds tipped down.
Tracy's deep is the +1. Fredericks the sweeping 20 metres off the contest for the ground ball.
Fremantle trying to lock it up. A Young squeezes a kick to half forward. Collins attacked it. Murphy read a toe poke once, twice, lost it. Powell, cleanly done. Bolton's got him in a big tackle.
That's round 12 all over again.
As it finished on the Gold Coast with Shea Bolton setting up the goal to Jai Amos. A big tackle late again. A kick in it with 2:46 to play. Fremantle have come from the clouds, as they've done many times this season, but the Suns aren't done yet. Miller, long ball, high ball, Brandon Cox, the intercept mark. Fremantle's defence standing up under this last pressure.
Yeah, so Josh Tracy's gone behind the ball. McAndrew now is absorbing that. So Suns sending a 7th with them to make a contest. Now Fremantle trying to kick the ball around.
Yeah, they'll try and soak up a little bit of time here. Suns have got to press up, take the uncontested marks away, and then force them to kick long down the line and hopefully transition back.
Wicks looks sore, but it is a man down the line that you need.
Down to 2 minutes. They're 2 minutes away, Fremantle, from a semi-final. Hewland!
Way to go.
He looks up. Who does he want? McAndrew might be the flyer! Super net!
He had a clean run. Clean run at the ball. Great intercept mark by Hewland, only their 3rd for the quarter. Fremantle have had 8, so that was a big moment. He's shown nerves in his young career already, McAndrew.
He's their $1 million man. 9-year, multi-million-dollar contract to tie the scores. Supermark! All square. 1:14 as the clock ticks down left. We've essentially got a 1-minute game to decide who moves on or whether we get extra time.
Dimmer's just waving back behind the
He's staying forward.
Is he? Well, the coach was waving him back the other way, so this will be fascinating. Obviously, what does the last minute and a bit look like? What's the attitude of each of the clubs? Are we saving it? Do we play for the draw, or are we going to win it? This has been the question of Fremantle. Probably the entire tenure of Justin Longmuir. What do you want to do?
Numbers are out of whack.
They've got to win it.
Gold Coast numbers are out of whack. I wonder if they've had a warning just yet.
No, they're there now.
1:12 to play. If scores are level, 2 halves of 3 minutes plus time on. We'll continue it. Season on the line. Young in there scrapping for it. Biggest clearance of the night to win. Anderson in there. Davies got it out. Rao. The Suns might get a look at it. Tumbling ball. Chapman tried to punch it. Spills through again. Suns with the run of the footy. Swallow held. He's held. Swallow had a big opportunity here to keep his career going, to keep the Suns going. The original Sun with a set shot from range.
Take him out.
This is a tricky part. If you're Fremantle, you can't rush it through. You've got to spoil it back into play. And if you're Gold Coast, do whatever you can to get it over the point or over the line.
Pick 1 back in 2010. He's been there since the start. He had opportunities to leave. He's stuck with the Suns. He wanted to see them rise. He goes long. Swallow! Incredible! What a moment! He's bled for this club, and he stands up in their biggest moment. Suns by 6, 9 seconds left.
Erasmus was on the mark. He's claiming that it was touched off the mark.
Really?
I suppose they will have a look at that, but it's pretty hard to be conclusive about whether it was touched or not on the mark. Will they even look at it?
You couldn't have written something like this.
It's payback for the footy gods for a hero of this club.
Extraordinary.
That's what can happen. You stick with your club through thick and thin. Before today, played the most AFL, VFL games in history without a final. Some thought he wouldn't get back in. Damien Harvick put him in. They're 9 seconds away. Fremantle have 9 seconds left. They're reviewing it from the alleged touch off the man on the mark.
You'd probably rather a goal, to be honest. Because otherwise you've got 9 seconds to start from deep inside your own defensive 50.
Either way, they'll lead. It's either a point, and Fremantle have to kick in with 9 seconds to go coast to coast, or it's a goal.
Which one would you take if you were to
Take the goal.
Review complete. Look at this angle. We can see the ball's touched by the left hand Fremantle defender. Decision on the scoreboard.
It's possibly a better result for the Suns.
So the Suns will set up their defensive wall. 9 seconds to defend it coast to coast. Fremantle have 9 seconds to kick the goal for the miracle win.
Good Noah Anderson running back to be on his own in the Dockers forward 50.
And look at them fill the corridor. They know there's really no option here but to go corridor. The long launch is taking 3 seconds in the air. Too much hang time. They fly. They need to crumb the Dockers. They will get it. Hammered. Siren. The agony and the ecstasy of sport. One team's season lives on. One team's season is over. Suns haven't just made finals for the first time. They've won one, and they are into the last 6.
Alex Swallow. You can see him getting around him. Came on as a sub. Had his moment late. But it was a brilliant game of footy. A really intense game of footy that came down some big moments in that fourth term. See there, the disappointment on the Fremantle faces. But they did all they needed to do, the Gold Coast Suns, come over to the West and beat Fremantle on their home deck. They did a lot right. As we head down to Matty Pavlich.
We're here with the skipper, Noah. Tell us about that last couple of minutes.
Oh, far out. Oh, yeah, pretty amazing. Yeah, I think a lot of people just thought we were pretty happy just getting here, and there was a real belief in the group that we could come here and really play our way, and I thought we did that for most of the night. So just shows a level of maturity, and yeah, it's pretty special.
Tell us about the emotion right now, because you talked about that you wanted to actually do more than just roll up and play a final. This is your first final. You've first win in the final. You've won it by a point. The veteran has had a shot basically after the sign. It is an epic moment for your club.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, Dave is the ultimate Gold Coast Suns man. The amount of things he's seen come through our doors when it hasn't been good enough is hard to describe. So for him to still be here and to get that moment tonight, I mean, yeah, amazing.
Tell us about that last quarter, because they were coming. They had all the momentum. It looked as though you were almost going back into your shell a little bit for a part of that time, but then finally you got some speed on the game. You won some crucial contests and scored.
Yeah, 100%. I think it's a game of footy. You know, they're a top 8 side and they're playing at home. They're always going to get some momentum. So I thought for the majority of the night, keeping the 79 is a pretty manageable score. So, you know, bits and bobs here and there that we could have managed a little bit better, but you know, we'll take a lot of learnings from it.
What about the coach this week and what he's done to instill that belief about you could get it done tonight and maybe even further throughout September?
Yeah, well, obviously he's been there and done it, so when he says you're good enough, you're going to think you're good enough. So, yeah, he shared that message. He wanted us to not just to get here, but to put a real dent in it. So, a really special night.
Appreciate your time. An epic victory. Well done.
Thanks, man. Thank you.
Sliding to his moment for those two, isn't it?
Yeah. Two of the all-time greats, both of them playing in game 248. And for David Swallow, the season lives on. For Nat Fyfe, who's announced his retirement as well. He's been one of the all-time greats of the competition, and it couldn't just happen for him as he wanted to unfold.
Being in Brendan Cox's position.
There's the touch.
That's the touch there, but Brendan Cox with the tackle, you put your head down in behind the player, you don't know whether the ball's come out or not. That was a marginal free kick, could have gone either way, 50-50, but to the letter of the law, he didn't have the ball and he was held and taken to ground, so a tough one. Have a look at that. The jubilation of the Suns and the absolute devastation of the Dockers. It's just shows you the bittersweet nature of the game. McAndrew goes forward, takes that mark. Josh Tracy be thinking, geez, I'm on my heels. I'm thinking, I'm expecting to come long, but just wasn't able to get up there.
Matthew Pavlich, you still can't believe it? You just told me.
Yeah, mate. I think I said before, I thought I lost us the game when I turned the ball over a couple of minutes earlier. So to have that moment and for us to get over the line, that's pretty cool.
What are the emotions right now? Because I'm sure there would have been, no doubt you were focused on the game this week, but you know it could have been, well, you lived to survive another day. It's 1 point and just an incredible moment. What are the emotions?
Just pure joy, mate. Just to share that with all my teammates, everyone that's worked so hard, and yeah, all in front of my home crowd in Perth as well. It's pretty special. I can't believe it.
What were you thinking when you had that ball?
To be honest, I just went through my set shot routine. To be honest, I didn't think I had the legs in me, but yeah, I don't know, managed to get there.
And the dream lives on. One more week, Brisbane next week.
Hopefully I stay in the team, so see how we go.
I think you want to get across to the ceremony.
C5, yeah, sorry.
Well done, mate. Thank you.
Incredible moment for David Swallow, who kicks that winning behind right at the end. A huge moment in the history, the biggest moment in the history of the Suns as they progressed through the finals. And it was their first pick in David Swallow who got it done. And sliding doors indeed. It was either he or Nat Fyfe who was going to finish up tonight. And with one kick of the footy, it's the Suns that progress, and it's Nat Fyfe who says farewell. Two-time Brownlow medalist, a Freo favourite.
I'd imagine he's provided a lot of people here tonight with a lot of highlights, a lot of memorable moments. An absolute champion of the game.
Future Hall of Famer. Right up there with Matthew Pavlich's the greatest docker of all time. And one last little applause and acknowledgement from the Freo faithful. Kid out of Lake Race says farewell after conquering just about everything in the game except that elusive final piece of silverware that he was hoping to secure in this last run. Not to be, and a famous win for the Gold Coast Suns.
And Damien Hardwick's incredible run as a coach continues. Second season as coach of the Suns after 14 seasons and 3 premierships at Richmond. And a couple of premierships as a player as well at Port Adelaide and Essendon. And he's done exactly what they brought him to the club to do. He's got the Suns into the finals, and who knows what they can do next week against the Lions at the Gabba. The Lions don't have Lockie Neal, and the Lions are wounded. They've got a few that had ice packs on and maybe even in doubt for next week. But look at him. You can see the emotion on his face. He's trying to stand back and not show it, but you can't disguise that.
I wonder where that ranks for him in terms of wins that he's had throughout his time as a senior coach, given he's got to the ultimate a number of times with the Tigers, but with this club who hadn't had any success previously, hadn't made the finals before, to come across the country, the longest road trip in footy, and get it done in that fashion after backing in David Swallow to play him in this game, to play him as the sub, and then to see that moment at the end.
And we're not going anywhere. We're staying here on Fox Footy. We're going to bring you all the emotion. Massive pre-game that we had today here to wind up to this one after an amazing game earlier today. And it doesn't stop on Fox Footy. It never stops. We're going to bring you the whole post-match coverage from the rooms. But this is the biggest moment of the Suns' history. 15 years in the competition, their first ever final. They've risen from 13th last year to into the last 6 in 2025, and who knows how far they can go.
Certainly enjoyed that win over the Bombers and what it meant to the club to make finals for the first time. And now they beat Brisbane just recently, and they meet them again. There's going to be an almighty clash in Queensland next week. The Suns will try to knock out the big brother in straight sets. They'll try and ride this wave of momentum. First time they've beaten Fremantle at Optus Stadium, and what a time to do it. They were seriously challenged in that second half, and they've got 26 points at the 20-minute mark of the third quarter. And then Fremantle started to get on a roll. They hit the lead, the Dockers, with a goal to Luke Jackson. But then Mac Andrew there, who we've seen go forward before and win games for the Suns, doing just that. And it was all on the boot of David Swallow to give them that 1-point victory.
What a beautiful sight it is here at Optus Stadium. Full house it was tonight. All disappointed fans are leaving in purple, but there's been a great contingent of Suns supporters that have jammed into a couple of the pockets here, and they have stuck around to be part of this post-game love fest.
Barney Humphrey was big throughout the evening. 3 goals in that second quarter, which was really when the Suns made the break in the game and set up this victory. You can just see what it means to the club. They're posing for photos. They're all getting in on the action. In fact, they want to get the fans involved.
Well, that made the trip worthwhile for all those Suns fans.
A new captain and a former captain, arm in arm, down the race after a huge performance. Great scenes in the Gold Coast Suns rooms as we get down to Kath Lawton.
We can barely hear each other think right now because there's absolute mayhem in the Gold Coast's change rooms. Just look at these scenes. Nathan Buckley, Jordan Lewis, you can't help but get snapped up in it.
We might just keep our distance, Kath.
Wow. But this is history, right?
Here we go. Let's listen to the song. The Gold Coast Suns through to the semi-finals after their first finals win by a single point here at Optus Stadium tonight over the Fremantle Dockers. Change room doesn't have their phones out right now and is filming that song because it was history in the making tonight. The Gold Coast Suns winning their first ever final, and you couldn't have scripted it any better, could you, with that man David Swallow?
Well, I'm glad we're in these rooms and not in the Dockers one. How good is football? I mean, the sheer elation, not just of the players as they came in, but all the support staff, the players that weren't playing, the parents, the family members, all of the connections of this club, of the individuals that went and got the job done, and then how they got it done was a story in itself. And then that guy David Swallow, and then all we ever want to do at the end of any game of footy is sing the song. And this is the first time they've got a chance to sing it in September after a win. What a fantastic moment for the Gold Coast Suns.
These would have been emotions they've never felt, clearly. So it is a whole club thing. The players certainly who are out on the field feel the emotions, and I think it's probably relief that they've won their first final, relief that they're able to win this game because they're in a really strong position, yet Fremantle really fought back.
And this man was huge, wasn't he? Matt Rao, congratulations. Can you just tell us what's going through your mind right now, because this is awesome in the Gold Coast change rooms right now.
So many emotions. I'm so proud of the group, seeing all the support that we got here tonight. I just saw my fan for the first time, so it's just the best feeling. The boys dug in so deep tonight, so just so proud.
Who have we got here? Who's the fam?
Yeah, just them in front there.
Everyone? You got mum, dad?
Mum, dad, and little sister Maggie. So came all the way from Melbourne. So we have so many fans and family here. It's so good to see.
Well, mate, you love the game. I don't think there's many people in the history of the game that have loved it as much as you have. How does it feel to have travelled the journey as a young fella, to have gone up into a state that isn't traditionally football, and then to have made your way through it, and then to be in this moment?
Yeah, I think I tell myself all the time, remember just being that little kid and loving the game. And that's what gets you through it a lot of the time. And to be out there today in our first final, you know, started at the Suns in 2020. It's been a long journey. We've had some doubters and it's been tough at times, but you know, I've loved sticking with this group and to get to the finals, but not only get there, but win one now. And we've got such belief, and I just love playing footy and love playing with this group. So, it's a great feeling.
Do you feel the responsibility? Like, I know some players here, Dave Swallow's been around a long time. They've been through some really hard times. Does the younger generation feel a responsibility to elevate this club into being a real powerhouse in the competition?
Yeah, there's definitely a responsibility. We want to take this group forward. And we know people like Dave Swallow, Jared Witts, Tuke Miller, they've done a lot of the groundwork, and we need to honour those blokes. So we do feel that. Seeing Dave kick the crucial point tonight was great as well. So yeah, we do feel responsibility.
There's a little bit of bark off. You've worked out exactly where you're bleeding from now. It took a little bit of a challenge there, and Noah ended up having to come over and trying to help you get the blood off your face.
Yeah, it was typical me. I didn't really know where it was coming from, and
I think you were rubbing your nose for a fair bit of it.
Yeah, I thought it was coming from my nose, but it was actually from the cheek. So yeah, there you go.
Before we get to the David Swallow moment, just take us back to that final quarter, because the Dockers were coming, the crowd were getting right into it. What was going through your mind? Because we felt as if the Suns weren't taking the game on as hard as you were in the opening few
Yeah,
quarters.
we knew they were going to come hard.
What have we got here?
Who have we got here?
This is Maggie, my little sister.
Okay, well done, Maggie. Congrats.
Good to see you.
So Maggie, I mean, we were nervous watching that game. What were you like?
Oh my God, I can't even explain. It was, I'm very glad they won, and I love Dave's goal, but points.
Yeah, we're just about to talk about that.
Yes, but...
What was Mum and Dad like?
I was sitting between them. I have to sit between them, so you know. But it was so good. I'm so proud of him. So good.
Mum and Dad are very nervous watchers. So.
They're very nervous, so I kind of have to sit in between me and the media.
Yeah, you do well. Yeah.
No, it was so good.
Maybe we need to swap Mum in. Should you go get Mum while we ask Matt about the David Swallow?
Yeah, she'll come
the
in.
whole round family. Oh, here we go. Come here.
I know.
Congratulations. Oh, together.
Get to your son.
Go hug your boy.
How do you feel, Mum? You happy with that one?
So proud of them all, the whole team. They are freaking enormous, because I was so scared when they got ahead and the crowd got into it, and I was like, please God, let us win. I was so proud. And the clearance.
I know. Which clearance? There was about 20 of them.
Fremantle played so well too. It was such a ripper game, but oh my God, I would have died if we hadn't won.
But what a ride. I mean, the first week of the finals leading into an interstate game. One, you must be so proud, but two, this is just...
I'm proud of him because he's a good boy.
This is historic, being in the rooms right now.
He is, and everyone out there, look at Mickey Ainsworth. Look at these. And what about Dave Swallow? What a freaking legend.
Hey, do you feel like...
legend is that?
So is the family outside of this team, how much have you come together as a unit, given that your sons are away from home mostly? Do you come together? Well, give us 30 seconds of your best.
Well, I'm telling you, it's also, there's so many people, when they come up here, I mean, you let your kid go when he's a baby, and they came up here, the Evanses were amazing. Lynn Evans, amazing, but also Lindsay Bull, you know, Dave Swallow, big Witsy, but, you know, Matt has his own family here now. So it's Kingy, Marnie King, and look at her, she's crying. That's how much it means. Noah and...
Why are you crying?
Have been, because I'm so freaking excited. And we've got Q Clash next week. Whoa.
You'll be straight from here to the Queensland.
Amazing. But it's the whole club. And
well done.
Follow especially, you have to give it to him. He has Maddie over all the time for dinner, and it's a family now.
Now, who taught him to eat grass? What's going on there?
Did everything.
I think that was mowing on my own.
No, I'm just really proud of them all. But they're good kids. They've grown up here. and we miss them, but we love what they're doing.
Well, enjoy these moments.
Yeah.
Enjoy these moments. They're the best moments of however long your career will last, many more years. But these moments are, I know, it's just not a scratch on him.
Do you know what? I think we'll let you go reunite with Dad.
Yeah.
We've loved the rouse. Thanks, guys. Congratulations, Dad. Soak this up.
Enjoy it. Well done, Matty. Well done.
Thanks, Matt. Congratulations. We'll take that off you. Well, that is what footy is all about. And I think if you wanted to get excited about the semi-final Q Clash next week, Mrs. Rao just did it for us.
Well, they're all involved, right? Like, their families are invested emotionally, and she said, you know, her son's moved up. A lot of these players have moved from interstate, so they become a family within one. So these types of wins, when you've got family in the rooms, you've got ex-players in the rooms, this is what you build a culture around, these types of moments.
And you can really sense it right now, the family vibe of the Gold Coast Suns. It is awesome right now. I think we're going to bring in Toot Miller as well.
Jump in there, mate.
Toot, congratulations. We just had the whole Rao family join Matt Rouse. Do you want to bring your family in?
I think you should have kept them out. I'm sure they would have stayed for another 2 hours. Love that.
Oh, it's so great to see. Well, you've been through thick and thin with this club. What does this mean to you right now?
I mean, I honestly couldn't have scripted that any better. I mean, the game was in the balance, and like, you know, Dave's Follow to have the ball right at the end there in their clutch time, like 15 years of, you know, a fair bit of heartbreak and pain and grinding, and to get his moment and then come up clutch, like, yeah, it was special.
From the get-go, you played good footy. Like, you were sharp, you had a real clear intent. I thought your defenders were aggressive with their positioning. No soft drops, they were prepared to get it clear. You wanted open space because you believed you could outnumber better than the Dockers, and you did that for the most part. But that last little bit, you just needed to get it done again. You're a goal down, and everything went back to rote. Mac Andrew played his role, was able to finish for you. How good's that feel?
No, you're definitely right. I think we had a really good game plan going in, and we felt really confident, had a lot of belief that it would stack up against Freo. We knew they were really good with their long down the line contest. They absolutely sipped the Dogs by doing that, and on the quick transition, we felt if we shot that down and then got numbers to the contest, we'd be able to outwork them. And I felt like you said, we did that for the whole game. But it's funny, like, not that I have a lot of experience in finals, but we keep getting told it's all about moments. And right at the end there, last 3 minutes in the balance, I reckon it was about 20 different moments that you could probably pick out that were really special. And the ones that ended in goals, I think it's everyone else that deserves the credit as well. So it was pretty cool.
Q Clash next week. I mean, you're going to enjoy this one here right now. But, so you reckon the script was right tonight? How about the Q Clash next week?
Yeah, look, don't get me wrong. I didn't want to get too far ahead from tonight's game, but you know, Brissy losing last night, you do think ahead for a little bit, and you go, geez, how good would it be to go head to head in a Q Clash next week? Drive up the road and try to send them out straight set. So I look very much looking forward to that.
Cool. That's a big call, mate. Do you want to maybe get on the radio with Zorks? I reckon that'd be a really good, make it like a boxing match and see if we can build it up a little bit further.
I'm sure we'll get a lot of build up, I'll be honest, but very much looking forward to it.
What about Big Witsy? He's been one that's been here for a long time. He's been established in the side. He's come up as a leader and then been able to hand that across to Noah, who's done a fantastic job. But where does he sit in the makeup of what the Suns have become and what this team is?
Yeah, well, I mean, he's a man that epitomises being the Suns brand or the Suns man, and I think when you look at him, when he did come to the club, he was one of our pillars that signed at the club at a time that people were leaving. And I think that shows a lot of maturity, a lot of loyalty and where the club was going. And he built the culture from the ground up. You know, he led our club for 6 years. I did it really well in a really tough time. He became one of our best leaders of the club, probably one of our greatest players that's ever been a part of the club as well. So he's part of the fabric. I'm glad he plays for us, and I'm glad he got his moments tonight.
We're really immersing ourselves in the rooms tonight and seeing all the families and friends. And there's people behind the scenes or even staff at the club that have really been through all the tough times, the dark times that you really rap for this evening.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think even the last game against Essendon, a lot of people talked about the atmosphere in the rooms, and I think that's just probably a testament to how the club's been built. So the culture's all about family and all about bringing people together. We come from a lot of different states and territories, and I think everyone's just brought into the Suns brand and what we're about. And look how many people travelled and wanted to be here and be a part of it. And It's definitely been an absolute gift that we get a win over here and get to celebrate with everyone.
Yeah, it's exciting to be in here. Congratulations. Good luck next week in this massive Q Clash semi-final.
Thank you very much, guys. Appreciate it.
Well done.
Good job, mate.
We're already licking our lips at that Q Clash. And I like that
Send them out
from
in
you.
straight sets.
Yeah, big. But he's
Well,
one of
that's
the players that
exactly
you
what they
have.
want to do.
And he's one of the players you're really happy for tonight. And you look at Tuke Miller and how he's stood by this club.
I think there's a lot of players, and we've mentioned a lot of staff, a lot of family members, but you're right. I mean, there would have been opportunities for him to explore other options, but he stayed loyal. And so there's been a few players here that have done that, and it's all for this moment. This moment right now is why you stayed. And
the longer you've been here and the longer you've invested, the more it means. But every single person has a story. And in this football club, this journey's been quite significant. Wayne Campbell came past before, and obviously was a big part of, as a director of footy, a big part of getting Damien Hardwick here. So I've sort of spoken to Wayne a little bit about that journey and how he's gone, and there's been some hard times. So for all of those dark times, this makes it absolutely worth it, and then they've got more to come.
Well, now that we've taken a bit of a deep breath, can we relive this final quarter thanks to Menu Log? Because this was absolutely epic. The crowd got so involved because Fremantle were coming. We know that they are the three-quarter comeback specialists in season 2025. 5 times they've come from behind at three-quarter time to win the game, and it looked like they were going to do it again. They were pressuring, they were coming. This was a pivotal goal from Shea Bolton.
Well, they were there, like 15 points down to 6 points up. So that's a quite significant change in the scoreboard, and Patrick Voss was excellent again. He brought his energy and then sprinted off, as we saw. But this contest here, I was going to ask, he wouldn't be double his weight, but it wouldn't be far. The massive Tracy versus Rioli, and they both came out of that worse for wear. Tracy got himself up, laboured towards this position, and then to be able to finish there to put them up. It was look, it was a huge match, and as Tuke just said, there were moments everywhere. Nat 5 takes this and it goes back into the forward 50 again. But look, both teams were huge, and the fine line between absolute ecstasy and just unconsolable devastation at the other end is that's the game at the pointy end.
Good pal. He's a name that kept popping up in terms of huge efforts. You mentioned a few times throughout the call, this was a great moment. He's shown already in his short career that it doesn't faze him. Whatever the moment of the game, whatever the situation, he's able to go back and steal himself, and that was just the tackle that ended it. And I think even after this, Alex Pearce was saying, don't tell them you touched it. Let's get it back to the centre of the ground. Yeah. So then we've got a shorter pitch to try and work off. But 9 seconds in the end was not enough for Fremantle to go coast to coast.
It was a funny moment, wasn't it, when David Swallow was lining up the goal and ended up kicking it? Because I think as much as the Fremantle fans were devastated, everyone could sense the storyline and how much he deserved that moment, David Swallow. And in the end, that was the difference. 1 point the margin. Devastation for Fremantle, but absolute ecstasy in the Gold Coast change rooms right now as we switch to the Dockers change rooms. And well, that's the sadness as well, not only their season being done, but the career of Nathan Fyfe being done.
Well, that's how sudden it is. It's a space of 2 minutes, whether your career progresses another week or whether, as good as Nat Fyfe has been and everything that he's achieved in the game, it just comes to an end right there and then. That's how sharp it can be, and you just don't know how to react sometimes. We see there, he was huge today, Alex Pearce. Huge behind the ball. But, these are feelings you try not to repeat too often.
They gave it a red-hot crack, didn't they, Bucks?
They did. They didn't start particularly well, and the Suns were up and about. They probably held back the tide for most of that first half. But then they really found their mojo. Have a look at inside 50s, and they had more supply, but just weren't able to be able to finish often enough. But that's exactly. I mean, you've got to put it all on the line to risk. To try and succeed, and you risk this feeling by putting it all on the line. We heard Adam Kingsley talk about it after the Giants loss earlier today, but it's a long way back to this point, which is what makes it pretty hard to take.
Now, we absolutely loved meeting the whole Rao family, but I don't think we gave Matt Rao
No, we didn't.
the amount of love he deserved for his performance tonight. He is our number one, thanks to Ford Ranger. He is our man of the match. 34 disposals, 10 score involvements. He was just enormous.
What about the understatement from his mum? Oh, that clearance. What clearance, mum? There, he was huge. No, he had a massive game. 34 touches, 6 tackles, 11 inside 50s, 12 contested possessions, and just a whole lot of will and absolute desperation to win. And that particular one where he comes out and then Barley Humphrey does the same in forward 50. I mean, he's been doing it all year, and he really has changed his body shape. I mean, that tells you how much you love the game. If you just decide, I'm not going to be just an inside player anymore. I'm going to break out from inside, and I'm going to break the lines. And it's exciting to see what he can become as he progresses. But stand up in your first final, what better way to do it?
Yeah, he progresses as a player, and I think sometimes when young midfielders come in and they're so dominant, dynamic at one particular position, they stick at it for a little bit too long. He's got great balance in his game, so once again become the third pair to record 30 disposals, 10 score involvements in a final across the last 10 years. So we spoke about them pre-game, the heavy reliance on those two boys, and they'd be very pleased with their output in their first final, no doubt.
Safe to say, though, that now those two picks, when they recruited Matt Rao and Noah Anderson to the club, look at them now and look what they're celebrating here in the Gold Coast.
It's certainly their talent and their ability, but more their character, I think, as well, which is equally as important.
Because they've stuck by this club and their families have embraced this club, and they are going to lead the way for the future of the Gold Coast Suns. Well, we are about to wrap things up here from the change rooms, but do not go anywhere, because the best analysis in the business is about to come your way. The first crack team, instead of Sunday night, they're here Saturday evening to wrap up a massive Elimination Saturday. A full review of week one of finals, Jay Clark, David King and Lee Montagna. It has been a drama-filled Elimination Saturday right here on Fox Footy. Minis finals footy live.
All right, folks, there we go. Hey, Aaron, Harry, good on you. Jonah Fish, yeah. Of course, the Suns won by a point here, 11-14-80, 12-7-79. They got the job done with the final 9 seconds of the game. There we go, big winners. And, of course, the Suns next week will go and play Brisbane Lions. It'll be the Q clash to see who goes and plays Collingwood. Look, I think the Suns will probably get the job done next week. They were pretty good tonight. I think they'll get the job done against Brisbane, but I think that's about as far as they'll go, especially they'll travel back down to Melbourne. I think the Pies will get the job done over there. All right, let's just wrap this up with some of the stats. Of course, Matty Crouch, best on ground for this evening. The goal scorers, we'll just wrap the stats up, folks, because we were here first. This is history-making, AFL football history-making. Of course, this is the first time the Gold Coast Suns have made the finals, and it is the first finals win in the history of the Gold Coast Suns. So it was great tonight, folks. We were listening on to and watching history being made. Fantastic to be a part of. Just looking at the goal scorers for this match. For Fremantle, Patrick Voss ended up with 3 goals. Josh Tracy, a couple with Isaiah Dudley. Murphy Reid 1, Luke Jackson 1, Aramis 1, Shai Bolton a miss 1. For the Gold Coast Suns, however, Bailey Humphrey, he was the best for them with 3 goals. Ben Long and Builderick both ended up with 2 goals. Fiorini, Farrar, Davies, McAndrew, all single goal scorers. The top disposal getter out on the ground, Caleb Sarong for the Dockers, 35 disposals, 20 kicks, 15 hitouts, 13 clearances. Matt Rao, 34 touches there for the Gold Coast Suns. I know it says 4 clearances, but I'm sure that's a lot more than that. That mightn't have updated, but there we go. Andy Brayshaw, great as well on this evening with Noah Anderson, 32 apiece. For those lads there. Let's just roll on down. Witsy ended up with 21, 44 hitouts, 8 clearances. McAndrew put that final goal on the board to draw scores level. Ended up with 20, 12 handballs, 8 kicks, and a goal. Well done to him. Murphy Reid, 19. He was good early and probably just out of the game a little bit in that final term, just the 19 touches. Luke Jackson came into the game reasonably well with 18, 12 hit-outs. Who else we got there? Took Miller actually was excellent there for the Gold Coast Suns tonight with 18, 10 tackles, 4 clearances. Tracy for the Dockers just ended up with 2 goals off his 15 touches there. Shai Bolton, 1 goal, 1 from his 15 touches. Let's have a look else. Daniel Rioli, not too bad this evening. Was Dan Rioli there for the Suns with 13 touches, couple clearances there for him. Alex Pearce, he was fantastic in that final term. Tell you what, the Suns tried, entered their forward 50. Alex Pearce was always there to intercept that mark. Sean Darcy there for the Dockers, 12 disposals, 29 hit-outs, 5 clearances. Ben King, well, he looked all right, but he just got 11 touches, 3 behinds, was unable to kick a major this evening. Just looking at the team stats to finish off, she was pretty tight all the way around. It was plus 6 disposals overall to the Gold Coast Suns. Inside 50, let's have a look at those scoring shots again. The Dockers had 19 scoring shots for 59 inside 50. And, of course, the Gold Coast Suns had 25 scoring shots for their 49 inside 50. So they went at a better percentage rate there. 51% efficiency inside 50 to the Dockers 40%. 18 to 22 free kicks. It was the Gold Coast Suns plus 4 there. Also plus 8 in the handballs, in the hit-outs, I should say, in the hit-outs. The clearance section, though, the Dockers got on top by 8. Centre clearances, all level, 11 apiece. It was the stoppage clearances around the ground where the Dockers took advantage there, 38 to 30. Contested possessions, uncontested, pretty tight there. Contested was plus 8 to the Dockers and just plus 1 to the Suns. So she was a pretty fantastic game tonight. Plus 11 marks for the Dockers, marks inside 50. Dockers got a lot more look at that. It was 11 marks inside their forward 50. The Gold Coast Suns could only manage 6. As I said, Alex Pearce did a fantastic job always being in there. And so Freo seemed to have more entries. Gold Coast more efficient going forward. Yeah, they did. Freo definitely had more going inside 50s. That is for sure and certain. Look at the tackle count. Good numbers for both sides. Gold Coast Suns, they'll probably just need to lift that up a little bit. I know their season average is 61. You've got to be pretty high and keep the pressure right up. 75-64, so that's reasonably good. 12 to 11 on the tackle front for inside 50s for both of these teams. But another fantastic game. Of course, tonight, ring-a-ding-ding game it was. It was the Suns by 1 point. And, of course, Swallow kicking that point with 9 seconds to go, put the Suns in front, which gave them victory. And, of course, the Dockers now they're on vacation. The Gold Coast Suns still got work to do next week. I believe it's a Friday and Saturday game. I'd say the Suns will probably play Brisbane on the Saturday, I would imagine. And then you've got the other game. I think it's Adelaide and Hawthorn. So I think those two teams are Friday and Saturday night. So they'll be the games we'll cover next week. It should be fantastic. Both fantastic games, I think. It's going to be pretty tough. Adelaide and Hawthorn, I would probably expect Adelaide to get the job done there. And, of course, the match between Brisbane Lions and the Gold Coast Suns, I'd probably expect the Gold Coast Suns to actually get the job done there as well. It's going to be pretty hard for Brisbane Lions to, topple over the Suns. Berry was a little bit sore, or someone else, and Lockie Neal's out for the season. So a few injury worries there for Brisbane Lions. But the Sun, they pretty much were the better team on the night. Make no mistake about that. Of course, the Dockers had that bit of a run home at the start of the third quarter. Of course, the Suns kicking the opening goal, but then the Dockers put on 1, 2, 3, the next 4 goals to hit the lead by 6 points at the at the 24-minute mark of that final quarter. But then, of course, McAndrew put that goal on for the Gold Coast at the 28-minute mark to level the scores. And, of course, David Swallow with that point that was actually touched. That was a behind. So he kicked the winning point, put the Gold Coast Suns in front. Fantastic game, though, folks. I tell you what, thanks, everyone, for tuning on in. As I said, history was created this evening. History over at Optus Stadium. seeing the Gold Coast Suns playing their first final for the history of their club, and of course winning their first final in the history of their club. Well done to the Gold Coast Suns. A great performance by them. Commiserations to the Dockers. There's always next year. Of course, Addy G, hopefully you'll be barracking for the Pies now that your Fremantle Dockers are out of the finals. All right, folks. Hey, that's all I got for this one. Thank everyone for tuning on in. It was a fantastic round of finals. Just to cap it, if you missed out on who won the finals, of course, it was Thursday night. Collingwood defeated Adelaide 79-55. Friday night, it was Geelong, way too good for the Brisbane Lions, 112-74. And of course, earlier on today, it was an absolute ring-a-ding-ding game. Hawthorn just getting over the Giants, 107-88. And of course, tonight, the Gold Coast Suns 80, the Dockers 79. So there we go, folks. Let me just have a look and see. No, I can't see the games, what time they're going to be played Friday and Saturday, but that's all right. Stay tuned, folks. You know when the games are. You'll see us when I'm live again Friday and Saturday. I would presume that that's when the games will be played. Friday night and possibly Saturday afternoon, Saturday night maybe. I think that'll be the times for the two games. All right, folks, I'm out of here. Thanks very much for tuning on in. Until next game, ciao for now. We'll see you at the next game.